Good evening from Mount Horeb High School here in Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. Friday night lights are back as the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings hit the field for the first time in the 2026 season. Hello everyone, I'm Evan Epstein alongside Brad Richardson. And Brad, what an opening game we have to start the season for the Vikings as they take on the reigning state champions, the Grafton Blackhawks.
Yeah, it's a nice opportunity here for Mount Horeb, getting Grafton here at home this year, going on the road week one last year. And yeah, you mentioned that Grafton team really kind of putting the bow on their season with the state championship. They've been really, really good the last 2 or 3 years especially. You know, Mount Horeb Barneveld, a nice test last year. They only gave up 3 points in that second half after falling down 21-7 at halftime. And defense really did their job. Just couldn't get anything going offensively. And you look at this Grafton team from last year, Evan, and every one of their leading tacklers, their leading interceptions, sacks, tackles for loss all graduated last year. You can see what a dominant senior class they had, especially defensively. And I think that's the one thing that really kind of helped propel them. They had some real close games in the playoffs, defeating Catholic Memorial and Reedsburg by just single digits. But heck of a program over in Grafton, and I know when you're talking with Coach St. Arnold about the competition, and this is exactly what you want on a week one to, you know, see where you are with the best. And Grafton as well, they come over here knowing Mount Horeb Barneveld has been very, very good. 5 straight conference championships and looking for number 6 this year. You know, question marks on both teams, and that's to be expected with high school football. We know Mount Horeb Barneveld's story, obviously losing the likes of Brooks Hendrickson and Jack Wilson and Hayden Anderson, and the list goes on and on. But Grafton losing their top quarterback from a year ago, 2,200-yard, 28 touchdowns. Tyler Deere, a top wide receiver in the state. But they bring back one of the best running backs in the state, Jack Nelson. So really going to be a fun matchup here tonight.
Yeah, and the way you talk about both teams is, frankly, it's a similar story, right? 2 programs coming off excellent seasons, Mount Horeb Barneveld falling in level 3 of the WIAA playoffs. You started to talk about their defense, just 2 returning starters for Grafton. Mount Horeb Barneveld losing 3 players to go play D1 football this year. And frankly, both teams are trotting out a new quarterback that will start their first ever game at the varsity level. So you've got to look at that. You've got to look at the offensive line and the trenches in front of them. How comfortable are these quarterbacks going to be? It's going to be Harvey Helen out there for the Vikings. And that's what I'm excited to see tonight. How do these new players that are really getting their first looks kind of playing a bigger role for these teams, how are they going to perform?
100%. I think the benefit for both of these teams is going to be a strong running game. Mount Horeb Barneveld really likes their offensive line up front. They were opening some holes last year. They bring back Eli Meyer. We talked about Grafton's situation. So I think probably going to see some run, but this Mount Horeb Barneveld team will not be shy to throw the ball. Harvey Helen, working back from an ACL tear from just a year ago, worked his tail off really to get to this point, and he gets the starting nod. Preston Meyer really gave him some great competition, the sophomore. So they look pretty good there at the quarterback position, and yeah, lots of answers or questions to hopefully be answered here, but it may not all happen here week one. But it's just great to be back here in August as high school football kicking off last night with some games, and of course tonight an even bigger slate.
And it's rare that you see a true QB competition at the high school level, but we certainly had that this year for Mount Horeb Barneveld. With that, we had an opportunity to talk to Mount Horeb Barneveld's head coach, Brett St. Arnold. Let's take a look at what he had to say earlier this week. I'm here with Vikings head coach Brett St. Arnold. Week one's coming up. You're a couple of weeks here into practice. How have things been going here at Mount Horeb?
I mean, everything's good. I mean, it's always good. Every single year is good, and very thrilled and excited again to be on the sidelines doing what I would call my dream job. It's been a lot of fun the first 2 weeks. We're working really hard, and obviously ready to get back on that horse right out the gate. Starting with the state champs, Grafton. They got us last year, and hoping to get some redemption this year.
The first couple weeks, the kids don't have school. What's it like to kind of, buckle down on football? Maybe they have a little bit more time to hit the weight room. What type of progress have you made as of late?
Yeah, it's weird because school actually started early this year. This is today, we had 2 weeks, and usually we have 2 games, which puts us almost 4 or 5 weeks into the season. So that part's been a little bit different, but it is actually nice because the kids have to be here anyways, and we do our morning lift, so the kids don't feel that we're still stealing their summer a little bit. So it's actually been working pretty well. The timing sequence has been pretty cool, but I've never had a season where we've been in school in session for the entire season. So that's going to be something interesting because sometimes, the first home game, there's stands are a little empty. So it's going to be pretty cool to have a student section and all the kids here. So it's going to be really fun.
Well, week 1's coming up on Friday. You're taking on the defending state champs in Grafton. What type of challenge does that pose? But at the same time, what type of opportunity can you get from taking on the state champ week 1?
Yeah, I think that, nowadays with the way the playoff matrix works, you challenge yourself a little bit in the beginning of the season, knowing that you're going to get some challenges in your conference. But then just kind of think about the ratio of what was it worth it, is it not worth it kind of deal. Where if you go on and win a game like Grafton, you're going to get a bunch of points in the matrix. And if you go and play a team who's maybe a 1-2 win team, it'd be almost like if you lost to Grafton, it'd almost be the same thing. So it just kind of makes sense to schedule a program like Grafton, who's had obviously great success, and their program over there is fantastic, and we respect them very much, and that's why I really like the matchup for us, is that win or lose, you get to see where your team is, right? If you win, awesome, cool, now you just beat a really good program, and if you lose, it's kind of like, okay, we're not where we need to be yet, and that's kind of what happened last year. We weren't where we needed to be, and that really kind of exploded. You didn't realize that they were going to be the state champs at the time, but you knew that they were very senior heavy. They were coached well, and there's a lot of good things that, it kind of opened our eyes a little bit early that maybe wouldn't have recognized had we played somebody who was lesser than.
So from last year, you lose a couple of pieces, Brooks Hendrickson going to play at UND, but you think about the players coming back that made level 3 of the WIAA playoffs last year, guys like Eli Meyer. Mm-hmm. Who do you think is going to kind of step into those leadership roles, and how can you utilize that playoff experience?
That's a great question. I mean, it's impossible to replace the seniors that you have. Just like it's impossible to replace, Austin Livefried, Casey Helgeson, Trenton Owens, on and on. You can go, that's 23. It's impossible to replace a Zach McGuire. It's impossible to replace a Chris Keel and Owen Primusberger. It's impossible to replace those guys. Just because personality, skill set, all of that is different. And same thing with Brooks, Jack, Hayden, Harry. I mean, it's tough to replace that. So what you do is you look at it from the standpoint of team, and you have to find a way that your team is going to fit around maybe not such a high class of characters. So we had obviously some 3 Division I kids last year, and we had to kind of work people around them. Now this year we are like more of a, there's not a superstar, you know what I mean? There's not a superstar, so to speak. So it's kind of had to be a team effort. And I think team effort can trump a lot of things. It can kind of actually, fill a lot of pieces that maybe were missing the last year, as an example. I see the aggressiveness in a lot of our kids, and I'm looking at Cullen Olson as an example. Cullen Olson as a junior, it wasn't, and I love him, but he wasn't eye-popping on film. This year, it's almost, I compare Cullen Olson this year as almost like getting a transfer, because that's how good he is. Like he's been unbelievable. It's been unreal, just the difference between him last year and him this year. Same thing with Gavin Reynolds. Gavin Reynolds went from being a starting sophomore on the offensive line to now, starting on both sides of the ball for us. He's the strongest kid on our team, and it's not even close. And I mean, he's one of those kids that you do not want to get in, you don't want to mess with kind of deal. You got Evans taking the steps that he needs to take. Powell's taking the steps he needs to take. Kyle Casabasky's taking the things he take. Wyatt Bush across the board. Our receiving core, we've got so much depth in our receiving core, so much depth in our tight ends, depth at our running back. Hayden Jeglum has done such a fantastic job in the offseason until now. And then our quarterback situation with Harvey and Preston. I mean, it's been a challenge. I've never had a situation where it's been a quarterback battle. It has been a quarterback battle. They've just been neck and neck all summer long. And then you flip to the defensive side of the thing, and I love our defensive line. It reminds me a lot of the defensive line from 23, or 24, which was a Talon Stoner, Harrison Walker matchup. And then we bring back 2 of our starters in the linebacking core, and I feel like we are fast and athletic on the back end. I'm really excited about to see what kind of products we got.
Well, I think I have 10 more questions based off what you just said, but going back to the quarterback battle, is this something where do you have a starting quarterback for week 1? Are you planning on playing both guys? What's the plan?
As of right now, Harvey is getting the nod at start for the start, but that is just the conversation you have with Preston is you need to be ready too. You never know. For those people that remember 2019, I think we went through 6 quarterbacks that season. It was absolutely insane. So it's we have to always have our guys ready no matter what. So Preston is ready to go, knows the offense, guys trust him. It's been one of those things that we've built throughout the summer. So very thankful that we actually have that kind of dynamic, but that's why you get 2 guys ready just in case. You never know.
All right, Coach, one final question for you. Going into the 2026 season, what do you think the identity of this Vikings team is?
Physical. Physical. I think that one of the things that I've really felt was missing last year was the physical piece. Us being able to match people physically. This team and the kind of the philosophy of this season for me and our team is don't flinch. I mean, a couple of our kids have even said it in interviews, is don't flinch. I feel like if you go across the board, the last 3 years we've been in sectional finals. We played Notre Dame, Catholic Memorial twice, and then you can even count the Edgewood and Grafton game last year. We got into a situation where it was a fist fight, so to speak. And I felt like we kind of flinched. You know what I mean? Flinched. And I think that cost us in those games. And so the challenge that I've put to them is don't flinch. Don't flinch in these big moments. Don't flinch against these big teams. You have every right to be here as they do. Our program is right up there with all these other programs. Don't flinch in these moments. Take this moment as an opportunity and then strive to be that. So we have to match the physicalness, and I feel like we can and we will. And that is, I think, where the difference will be this season, is the physicalness of our team.
All right, well, thanks for your time, Coach, and looking forward to Friday night.
People always ask me, Jessica, how do you change a tire? Well, my name's not Jessica, and I have no idea. But what I can tell you is where to find the best deals on vehicles, equipment, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at WisconsinSurplus.com.
Go long. It's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weedman to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weedman. Call or click today.
Located in the heart of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, Norsk Golf Club boasts a tough but fair 9 holes that will be challenging and fun for golfers of all ages. Norsk Golf Club is dedicated to serving our community by creating a family-friendly destination for golf, outdoor recreation, and entertainment in every season while preserving the irreplaceable green space in the center of Mount Horeb. Don't forget about our bar and grill, bowling lanes, and to stop by and watch the Wisco Radio broadcasts. To book a tee time, visit us online at norskgolfclub.com or call 608-437-3399. That's 608-437-3399.
At Bank CMG, we believe strong communities start with strong relationships. After all, success is a team sport, and so is community banking. That's why we're proud to support the local businesses, farms, families, and schools that make our communities such great places to live and work. Whether you're looking to grow your business, finance your next big dream, or build your savings for the future, Bank CMG is here to help you move forward. For more details, visit our website at www.bankcmg.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ritchie's Implement is Southwest Wisconsin's leading distributor of new and used farm equipment since 1961. With 4 convenient locations in Cobb, Darlington, Barneveld, and Lancaster, Ritchie's can serve you better. Stop in and see us and you'll know why we're one of the largest Case IH agricultural dealers in Wisconsin. Visit ritchiesinc.com today to learn more.
I don't know what's actually in your kids' equipment bags, and honestly, neither do they. But I do know where you can score great deals on quality vehicles, equipment, trailers, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
The Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is an organization focused on assisting in the development of youth football players and raising funds for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Football program. The mission of the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is to work cooperatively with the Mount Horeb and Barneveld school districts to support the efforts of the Mount Horeb Barneveld High School Football Program and the Mount Horeb Barneveld Youth Football Program. To learn more about the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club or to find out ways to support the program, head to mhb-football.com. That's mhb-football.com.
We are just moments away from kickoff between the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings and the Grafton Blackhawks to kick off our season. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Bid, buy, and sell. Visit wisconsinsurplus.com. Evan Epstein back alongside Brad Richardson, and it will be Mount Horeb Barneveld to kick it away. The Grafton Blackhawks offense will take the field first.
Also, a shout out to Ramsey Schulting from Barneveld joining us in the booth here tonight, an incoming freshman. Happy to have him along as well.
Always good.
Got to bring up the next generation of broadcasters here at Wisco Radio. Cullen Olson kicking off here. 17 touchbacks a year ago. Really came on to the scene in a big way last year. First year playing football. And really helped that special teams units. And he'll be kicking off to the defending state champ, Grafton Blackhawks.
And Cullen Olson will also play a big role on this Vikings offense. You take a look at what he did last season, 5 receptions, 37 yards as a junior, but he's going to be one of their top targets this season.
Yeah, multiple roles as a lot of the young man on Division III, Division IV, etc. football teams, even Division II, you'll see guys multiple positions.
Malik Kane and Andy Tran deep to return for the Blackhawks, and this is a dribbler, and it's fallen on at the 25-yard line, so that's where the Blackhawks will set up shop. A little bit of a nervy start to the season, and you never know. You might see some first drive jitters, both by the offense and the defense. You've got a first-time starting quarterback coming on for the Blackhawks, and that is going to be Hunter Klippel. It'll be Harvey Helen for the Vikings. And the first drive of the season, what type of tempo is this offense going to set up? Are they going to let Klippel try and air it out immediately? All sorts of questions here, Brad.
Well, we're going to learn some answers here in 4 quarters of play.
The Blackhawks are stacking their offensive line. Just one receiver set out right. Still awaiting the whistle. Just 1 second transpiring on our kickoff.
Jack Nelson's going to be the feature player for this Blackhawks offense, especially early in the season. One of the top running backs in the state a year ago.
Bounds Wisconsin had him ranked as the 4th running back in his class, and he'll take the carry, hits the hole hard, and gets out to about the 30-yard line on the first play from scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 5 for Grafton.
Yeah, featuring the left side of that line, and you've got a good running back, and you know you've got a good offensive line to start as well. Vikings go out with their typical 3 down linemen as their typical look, fill in with more linebackers, and sometimes we'll go 5 secondary.
This time 2 receivers out right for Grafton. Klippel rolling out right and quickly throws. He hits Malik Kane, and then the ball popped out. Did he catch it? Was it a fumble? Is it incomplete? No signal from the officials. And it is going to be a complete pass to Malik Kane. He got crunched as soon as he caught that ball.
Are they saying he was out of bounds?
Take a look at the replay.
Ball popped out.
That's an incompletion. I mean, Malik Kane did not have possession of that football.
Officials are giving him a first down.
Malik Kane, a senior for Grafton, did not play last season. He transferred from Arkansas, then had to sit out his junior year. Head coach Jim Norris said he would play a big role in this offense, and he makes what is officially a catch, but it seemed like that ball was loose. Clock ticks down to 11 minutes here in the first quarter. Ball at the 35-yard line. Klippel hands it off to Jack Nelson. Nelson's got room to rumble, and he'll get past the first down sticks all the way out to the 46-yard line. Another 1st and 10 coming up for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, defensive line's going to have their hands full here tonight. Good blocking up front. And it was Gavin Reynolds who was trying to stop things, but first down here for Grafton, the opening drive of the night. You can see their various weapons they have here in 2026.
Receivers split left and right for Grafton, Parker Shaw and Malik Kane. Klippel's going to keep it. Rolling left, Klippel trying to get to the edge, but Mount Horeb Barneveld doing a good job sealing off to the sideline, and Klippel looks like he's scampered into enemy territory. They'll put him at the Mount Horeb 49.
Yeah, this is something that they featured last year as well, and quarterback is going to tuck it at times and run, so a nice opportunity there, and picked up 6.
Hunter Klippel last season, very limited playing time as a sophomore, 5 for 5 for 30 yards and a touchdown, but this is his first true taste of the action. Klippel in the shotgun. It's a screen right to Parker Shaw. Shaw falls down, and Mount Horeb Barneveld has it. I don't think that ball ever hit the ground.
The ball came out, and
Mount Horeb Barneveld takes over.
Eli Meyer with the INT. I think it's officially an INT. We'll try to get the replay here.
It was a quick screen to Parker Shaw. We didn't quite catch it there. Shaw looks like he's injured on the play, but that ball looked like it bounced off his chest, and then Eli Meyer caught it in the air.
In the right spot there, and Mount Horeb Barneveld defense getting their first turnover 2026. Good starting field position here for a better look here.
And
yeah, maybe considered a fumble? Boy.
Still can't tell if it hit the ground from that angle, but it looked like Parker Shaw had made the catch, so either way, this should be Vikings football.
Yeah, definitely going to be Vikings football. No benefits of replay. Even with replay, I think the call in the field is going to stand.
Eli Meyer plays such a huge role for this Vikings team, both offensively and defensively. On the offensive side of the football last season, 658 rushing yards, 6.9 yards per carry, and he did that as the second man in the backfield last season.
Yeah, when you've got Jack Wilson as your main tailback, Eli Meyer really flourished, though. He's a between the tackles type of runner, and they are going to show possible run here to get Helen his first snap as a varsity quarterback.
No receivers in the formation. It is a handoff to Meyer up the middle, and he tumbles forward for a nice pickup on first down of about 7 or 8 yards as he gets out to the Grafton 41-yard line.
Yeah, kind of a prototypical run here for Meyer. You'll see him just kind of be patient, wait for his blocks, and this offensive line is going to be the key.
Replays tonight brought to you by Surplus Suds. Dirty happens, head on over to Surplus Suds. Helen hands off to Meyer again. This time he'll take it outside to the right. Meyer gets by trouble. No one in front of him. He slows it down around the 10, and he's brought down finally at the 5-yard line. A 36-yard run by Eli Meyer. He is doing it all for the Vikings.
Yeah, just that one simple play of the dive action, and Helen collects a bad snap as well. Good contain by the offensive line, and off the race is Eli Meyer, a state qualifier in wrestling. We highlighted that last year. His feet are impeccable, and a great opportunity here, 1st and goal for the Vikings.
Still haven't seen a receiver in any of these formations for Mount Horeb Barneveld.
And they're basically going to go to their 2-point conversion look here. Barrett Slaney in. This is their prototypical 2-point conversion, so that's a distance that they like. Eli Meyer last year led the team in 2-point conversions.
22 of them. And he's taken the first 3 handoffs for the Vikings.
Yeah, no surprise as well. It's really going to open up the passing game with a strong running game, and that's been a staple of MHB over the years. They like to be balanced, but they will lean on the run when they need it.
Helen under center. Goes to Meyer once again. Meyer to the left side. Did he break the pylon? No, he did not. They're going to put him at the 1-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal coming up for the Vikings.
Yeah, following the blocks of course, Evan Livefried, the left tackle. Henry DeRozier over there as well. Boy, awfully close. And this might be 4-down territory here for the Vikings.
This Vikings offensive line looks very solid in the first drive. They have done a great job setting up space for Eli Meyer. Now just 1 yard to go. 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Helen will give to Meyer again. Meyer met in the backfield, second effort. He did not get there. It's going to be 4th and goal from the 1, and it is decision time early for head coach Brett St. Arnold.
Yeah, they're going for it.
Didn't seem to be much of a decision from you there, Brad.
No, that's kind of been their mantra. They're going to be aggressive, and no reason not to here. Your defense gets you the ball. You're at the doorstep.
You're taking on the defending state champs. You forced a turnover on their first drive.
Biggest question is, what is the play call here? Grafton has done a nice job of preventing a short yardage touchdown.
They stack the line. Helen keeps it himself. He's in for the touchdown. Touchdown Vikings. Mount Horeb Barneveld goes up 6-0 with 7:11 remaining in the first quarter.
Yeah, not surprised at all. And Harvey Helen's going to get that push as well, and probably the right play call after Grafton stopping Meyer on consecutive runs. And the first touchdown, if you had this on your bingo card, is a rushing touchdown from Harvey Helen.
Harvey Helen is fired up on the sideline, and that's amazing to see because, yes, on pretty much every play that drive, right, he gave the ball to Eli Meyer, but he's settling in there at quarterback. They get to the 1 yard line, and he punches it in himself. A great job running the offense by Harvey Helen, making his first start in his junior season here tonight. Cullen Olson on for the extra point, 9 for 10 last year, and he'll start this season 1 for 1. Mount Horeb Barneveld up 7-0. 7:11 to go in the first quarter as we step aside here on Wisco Radio.
People always ask me, Jessica, how do you change a tire? Well, my name's not Jessica, and I have no idea. But what I can tell you is where to find the best deals on vehicles, equipment, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Vikings 7, Blackhawks 0. 7:11 to go here in the first quarter. Tonight's game is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Don't delay. Bid today. Get in the game and visit wisconsinsurplus.com. Brad, what a start to the game for the Vikings.
Yeah, honestly, you can't overstate how important I think that was for the defense. Obviously for the offense to get a short yardage field there and know that they can compete here tonight with the returning state champs.
Olson's kick has some good carry on it, fielded by Malik Kane at the 6 yard line. Kane taking it to the left side, cuts back up the middle, and he's brought down around the 26-yard line. Making the tackle for the Vikings was the junior, Henry Loger.
Six-play drive for MHB going 48 yards. Of course, most of that's credit to Eli Meyer, but a really nice statement here for MHB. I think important for many, many reasons.
We'll see if the Blackhawks have the response. Klippel is going to hand it off to Nelson. Nelson breaking tackles up the middle. He was met right around the line, but still got past the 30-yard line. They'll spot him at the 31.
Yeah, this Grafton offense, and they showed it in that first drive. They've got weapons in many different places. So it's going to be a challenge for this MHB defense. Well, they do have the luxury of some of these guys just playing one way, and defense is that example. Although Michael Powell does play nose tackle, but Dylan Randall out there, just a defender.
2nd and 6 at the 31. Klippel dropped the snap. Did he fall back on it? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Klippel avoids disaster for Grafton. That would have been another big swing, but instead, Grafton's still in a tough situation. It's going to be 3rd and long with 6:12 to go now in the first quarter.
Yeah, not a great snap, but yeah, Blackhawks lucky that one didn't go MHB's way. That's something that obviously turnovers could be a big difference.
3 receivers right for the first time now for Grafton. Klippel is going to roll right. Klippel in the air, and it is caught on the sideline. A terrific catch and throw as Klippel was able to hit Parker Shaw. Shaw looked a little bit shaken up after he either fumbled the ball or it bobbled to the interception for Eli Meyer, but Shaw is back in the game, and he made a big conversion there for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, really important, obviously, to keep that drive going, and you see the athleticism by Klippel keeping that drive alive.
Parker Shaw is going to be the wide receiver 1 for this Blackhawks team. Head coach Norris said that he's excited for Shaw to kind of step out from the shadows of some of the seniors that graduated last season. This is a keeper for Klippel, and he's going nowhere. The Vikings get to him in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 3 as Klippel is driven back to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Connor Casey comes in there. He's safety by the roster, but they're really crowding the line of scrimmage, and Casey drops him for a loss of about 3. Connor Casey getting varsity minutes this year. A lot of young guys on both sides of the ball here for the Vikings. Casey, one of them.
The Vikings can crowd the line of scrimmage unless Klippel really shows the ability to go deep downfield, which he is not. That's a dangerous pass caught by Shaw, and then Shaw is swung down across the 50. That looked like it could have been picked off, but instead it was Shaw coming up with the football.
Yeah, incredible catch there, and you're right, that could go either way, but a great catch going up top to get it at the highest point, and moving the sticks again on a 2nd down and long.
Well, if that ball is intercepted, it's 13-0 Vikings, because there was nothing between that football and the end zone going the other way.
It is a game of inches, and honestly, Shaw was inches away, I think, from maybe breaking it. So that's a throw that can go either way, and a bit of a delay here, as I think one of the officials is shaken up on the far side.
And you think about that play because the first man comes to try and pick it off, and so that's who's marking Shaw, right? And so you have that secondary defender that comes in to make the big tackle because you make that risk, and that's what allows Shaw to have a lot of open space in front of him.
Yeah, Shaw's obviously going to be one of the main features, but they got to worry about Kane as well, who had a catch on the opening drive. So we mentioned the talent that Grafton has. They are not lack of talent, maybe experience, but returning state champs, they know what they're doing.
They certainly do, and for both offenses, it's going to be their running back that is the main weapon. Jack Nelson for the Blackhawks, Eli Meyer for the Vikings. Nelson grabs it again up the middle, and once again, Jack Nelson finding those yards after contact as he's got, looks like he's up to the 42-yard line for Grafton.
Yeah, he's getting kind of a running start, and I think that's one thing the Vikings coaches are going to want to see is him getting hit at the line of scrimmage, but he's got a runway, and it's the linebackers and secondary who are catching him in the backfield.
It seems like both offensive lines have been winning the war in the trenches. Here's Klippel now, fakes the handoff. Klippel going deep for Shaw. Shaw has it, and he dropped it. Oh no! What a pass by Klippel, hit Shaw in the hands. No one defending him, and Parker Shaw dropped the football. That would have been a surefire touchdown for the Blackhawks. Instead, it's 3rd and 3 from the 42. This is a beautiful ball from Hunter Klippel right into the breadbasket of Parker Shaw. Shaw had his man beat by about 2 steps, and he just couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, sometimes that's the way it is. You catch the hard ones, but the easy ones are more difficult to catch.
And this is going to be a false start going against Grafton. Maybe that's a play where you're still in the first quarter of the first game of the season, and you almost have too much time there, right? Because Parker Shaw sees the football, there's no one on him, and he can think about it for a second. And you know, maybe you just overthink it in that split second.
Been a clean game up to this point. Really nicely played first quarter. And you can see both these teams have playoff aspirations this year. This is 2 programs that just continue to reload. It's the culture they've both built. Both these teams have been staples in the WIA playoffs for the last several years.
Grafton moving from D3 to D2 after winning the state championship last year. Nelson takes the handoff, and this time he's met at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings defense wins on that play, and they force 4th down and 8.
Yeah,
and that will force the Blackhawks to punt it away.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, and obviously getting contact at the line of scrimmage that time. Henry DeRozier and company. I think Dylan Randall also in there, and that's exactly what you want from the Vikings is a stout defense and keeping Grafton around midfield. And you expect in this situation time and score. They're going to punt this away to try to pin the Vikings deep.
4th and 8, they will punt it away. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the action at wisconsinsurplus.com. This football tumbles down to the 5-yard line. A beautiful punt by Grafton.
Boy, if we could maybe see a replay of that snap, it looked like almost the punter put his knee down. It was a low snap, and a new return man back for the Vikings is Connor Casey. He let that roll to the 5-yard line, but not sure if we can get a replay maybe of, but nonetheless, coach is not as happy, thinking maybe they put a knee down, but tough call. And Coach St. Arnold's always going to want the calls going his way, so I can't fault him for that. It was probably pretty close, but
yes,
the snapping game hasn't been the greatest here tonight for Grafton, but tough field position starting here for the Vikings.
Still, though, if you're a Vikings fan, you've got the ball 1st and 10, up 7-0, 2:26 to go in the first quarter. That is a pretty good situation. Eli Meyer going nowhere on the carry on 1st and 10. And Harvey Helen is heading to the sidelines.
Yeah, he's getting the plays. So a lot of times they don't signal. They kind of go back and forth, but this year looks like, at least to start the year, is Harvey will go to the sideline to get the play. So he'll get his steps in. Hopefully he's got his watch on so he can get all of his steps monitored.
They'll mark it 2nd and 9 here for the Vikings. 2 receivers right, 1 receiver left. Perhaps Helen will go to the air on this play. And movement up front, that's going to set the Vikings back. A critical penalty. It'll be half the distance, and that'll put them at their own 3-yard line. Second and 12 coming up, same formation. for Mount Horeb Barneveld. Helen will throw, and it's complete. Far side, it's Sam Grundal, the first reception of the year for the Vikings, as Grundal is tackled as he caught it at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, Sam Grundle's going to have a opportunity this year to be one of the key guys. He got some minutes last year, but obviously as a junior this year, and I think he's a guy. He just every time I see him looks like he's grown another inch, and I think he's going to have a nice year here for the Vikings. A nice easy completion for Helen to give him a manageable third down.
Sam Grundle last year, 2 receptions for 12 yards, limited playing time as this ball is caught. Cullen Olson on the quick throw. Olson out to the 16-yard line, and the Vikings are going to get the first down conversion despite being trapped all the way back to their 3-yard line.
Yeah, important to get, obviously, a first down, move the sticks. Really well played first quarter.
Under 45 seconds to go here in the first. The Vikings are humming both offensively and defensively. 1st and 10 from the 15. Handoff to Meyer. Meyer taking it to the near sideline. Breaks a couple of tackles before he's forced out of bounds. They never brought him down. Eli Meyer is a tough man to take down.
Yeah, they'll see where they actually mark this ball, but kind of featuring a few passes here and now going to the running game again. So about 9 yards on that run.
2nd and 1 now for Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Actually, they moved the sticks, so must have been around 10.
Shotgun once again for Helen. This is a different formation. It was a bunched line in the first drive for the Vikings. Now they're sending receivers out left and right. Maybe a little bit more trust in Helen. Meyer up the middle once again. A helmet went right into the football, but Meyer was able to hold on. He got 4 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6, and that should just about do it for the first quarter.
Yeah, nice cutback, and that's going to be a prototypical run you see from Eli Meyer this year.
What a first quarter of play for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings. They've got the defending champs stumbling backward. Mount Horeb Barneveld up 7-0 as we go to the end of the first quarter here on Wisco Radio.
People always ask me, Jessica, how do you change a tire? Well, my name's not Jessica, and I have no idea. But what I can tell you is where to find the best deals on vehicles, equipment, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at WisconsinSurplus.com.
A phenomenal first quarter of play for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings. They're up 7-0 on the Grafton Blackhawks. Evan Epstein alongside Brad Richardson welcoming you back here into Mount Horeb High School. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the action at WisconsinSurplus.com.
Ramsey Schulting here from Barneveld, joining us in the broadcast booth as well, getting a first taste of a broadcast, and glad to have him here. He's keeping track of our drive charts, which is really helpful, as we saw a scoring drive for the Vikings in that first quarter. A really nice first quarter for the Vikings, getting a turnover and a score, and looking pretty good in the second drive.
Here's Helen, handoff to Meyer. Meyer looked like he had a hole, but he's grabbed from behind, and then help comes from the Blackhawks defense. It'll be a loss of a yard for Eli Meyer.
Yeah, early penetration that time. It was Luke Schubert who kind of grabbed him from behind and threw him down. Loses about a yard. Eli Meyer unofficially here tonight, 9 rushes for 61 yards. A lot of those coming in that first quarter on his second run of the night.
A 36-yard run got Mount Horeb Barneveld all the way down to the 5-yard line. Helen moving out to his right, throws, and maybe a miscommunication there as Cullen Olson had fallen down on his route. No penalty on the field. He was at around the 47-yard line, and that's why that ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if Harvey was thrown to a spot. The underneath receiver wasn't to him, and maybe it was to Cullen Olson, who was trying to cut across the field. But potentially first punt here of 2026 for the Vikings is going to be Cullen Olson. They've gone back and forth. Many times it's been the quarterback punting for the Vikings, but in this situation it will be Cullen Olson.
They'll punt it away from the 29-yard line.
And Cullen might glow in the dark with those gloves.
He certainly stands out. It's easy to spot where Cullen Olson is at all times. A running punt, and this one doesn't have much mustard on it. We'll see where it crossed out of bounds. It got to about the 40, and that's exactly where Grafton will begin their drive.
Yeah, not great there. They love the rugby style of punting, and that time went off the side of his foot, and Grafton's going to have great starting field position at the MHB 38.
Grafton needs a big drive here. A turnover on their first drive of the game. They got into Vikings territory on their second drive of the game before getting stopped. A big opportunity on their second drive. Parker Shaw wide open at the 3-yard line on a deep shot coming from Klippel. Shaw dropped the ball, and ultimately that is why Grafton was unable to convert on their second drive of the game. Handoff goes to Nelson, and Nelson had some steam as he hit the defensive line. Still, though, the Vikings do a good job swarming to the football as they take him down at the 35.
Yeah, just a 14-yard punt on that last play for the Vikings, so obviously not what you're wanting. Positive run there for Nelson.
That'll bring up 2nd and 7. Kane, the receiver, out to the far side. Parker Shaw lined up in the slot. Nelson, the man in the backfield. Hunter Klippel, rocking right. Klippel looking for Kane. Did he grab it? Yes, he did. What a phenomenal catch by Malik Kane. It looked like it was a little bit underthrown, but then Malik Kane managed to contort his body to get back to the football.
Yeah, you can see the talent on the edges and putting pressure on the secondary for MHB. Klippel did a nice job of moving the pocket. Both these quarterbacks probably a little bit more comfortable outside the pocket as well. You've seen that from both sides. They bring a fullback in. Are we seeing things here, Evan? An actual fullback.
That is a fullback. Handoff still goes to Nelson, and he's slammed down in the backfield by Eli Meyer.
Caden Schlimgen also knifing in there.
Eli Meyer is having himself a heck of a game. An upper body tackle on Nelson.
Yeah, I take that back. That was number 5 and not number 9. Eli Meyer doing on both sides of the ball.
He's wearing that captain patch for a reason. A leader on the field and off the field. One of the most effective players returning to this Vikings team. Klippel is going to step up. He's going to run for it. Klippel makes a man miss. He dropped the ball. It's loose, and the Vikings recover. Hunter Klippel lost the ball, and the Vikings take over once again.
Unreal pursuit that time. After a big-time run, Vikings stay with it. The second turnover of this first half. Watch it from behind, and guess who it was? Eli Meyer with the Pat Tillman, the Peanut Tillman punch-out. And Mr. Captain is doing it here tonight.
Initially, it looked like a great run from Klippel, made 2 defenders miss, and he never saw Eli Meyer approaching. And like you said, that's just a swat. He caught ball first, and he forced it free. Everything seemingly going right here for the Vikings. Helen, quick throw far side, complete to Cullen Olson. A pickup of 3 or 4 yards. It seems like that's where the Vikings feel most comfortable with Harvey Helen, those quick passes.
Yeah, it looks like maybe even closer to almost a 5-yard gain. We'll give them 5 on that. And definitely looking a little bit more comfortable after that first drive. They really looking to feature the running game, but opening things up here a little bit. And I know you and I were talking earlier this week, Evan, about kind of what their philosophy is. And it doesn't really change from year to year. They're going to be balanced, running and throwing the ball.
Helen drops back, steps into this one. He's going deep, far sideline. Cullen Olson was not open, however. Great coverage that time by Owen Deere, staying with Olson step for step.
Yeah, real good coverage there and a little bit overthrown. A tough third down upcoming here. They are inside their own 14-yard line. Harvey's 3 of 4 here tonight, 420 yards. Gonna need a big play here on third down.
3rd and 5 coming up for the Vikings. Let's see what Brett St. Arnold dials up here. 8:34 to go in the second quarter. Mount Horeb Barneveld with a 7-0 lead. 2 receivers left. Helen is looking, now under duress. Helen steps up, flag in the backfield. It's caught by Jeglum as Jeglum scurries out of bounds around the 26, but this looks like a hold against the Vikings.
That's your prototypical hold situation there. Your quarterback scrambles. They did get the first down by completion, but the flag comes in, and never good when it comes in over there. So, yep, officials talking to the Grafton bench. Obviously, you're going to accept a penalty here.
And they'll march him halfway back to the goal line, which should put them around the 6-yard line.
Yeah, the ball's, yep, around the 13 or 14-yard line, so we'll be half the distance. Trying to get Hayden Jeglum involved. Dynamic player, and they've really liked the growth that they've seen from last year to this year. It's going to be an important piece to what they do. Probably RB number 2 behind Eli Meyer.
For sure, Jeglum last year, 16 carries, 62 rushing yards with a rushing touchdown. So he got some touches in his sophomore year. And Eli Meyer is the clear RB1. We'll see who fills the role behind him. This is complete over the middle. A nice throw and catch as that's Kelson Baumgart on the reception.
Going to be a hair short, I think, of that first down.
This could be decision time once again for Brett St. Arnold because, frankly, that first punt only went about 15, 20 yards. So is it that much of a risk to necessarily go for it on 4th and 1?
Well, maybe it's you try to draw them offside situation. Obviously, a 14-yard punt is not atypical. So we'll see what happens here. Maybe just try to be aggressive.
Helen.
And there's a hard count there. Hayden Jeglum's in the backfield. That's maybe also key that they're not as likely to go for it on 4th down, and they'll burn a timeout.
Good call there, Brad, and you would expect to see Eli Meyer in there. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Bank CMG. Grow your business, finance your big dream, and build savings for the future with Bank CMG. And by Norse Golf Club. Book a tee time online at norsegolfclub.com. If you're looking for a 1-yard carry there, you would think it's going to be Eli Meyer.
Yeah, not sure what they're thinking with it, but probably just trying to draw them off sides. I highly doubt you're going to go for it in that situation with a lead right now over the defending state champs. So play some field position game and hopefully get off a better punt, obviously, than what happened a series ago.
Right now, the Vikings have been the team that has made the least amount of mistakes in this game. You think about the mistakes, right? 2 turnovers by Grafton, a drop touchdown, and really for Mount Horeb Barneveld, they're just playing good, clean, safe football.
Yeah, they really are. I think the pressure is on Grafton, even though they're on the road and facing a tough team. But anytime you come back from a state championship, right, you've got that pressure just inherent, and and not playing the cleanest football here in week number 1.
Grafton was ranked second in D2 in the preseason. Mount Horeb Barneveld number 5 in D3. No one back there for Grafton, so a nice punt there by Cullen Olson, getting that football all the way down to the Grafton 42. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Weedman. Get ready to achieve a lawn care win with Weedman. And Kittleson Landscape, celebrating 40 years in the community. Transform your outdoor space with Kittleson Landscape.
Evan Epstein here this year. Ramsey Schulting up here. Brad Richardson, you know my voice, but great to have you, Evan. Met you early this week, and just try to add to this quality broadcast that we do week in, week out. So if you hear that voice, it's Evan Epstein as well here helping us out on Wisco Radio.
It's great to be here, and what a treat we've had to begin the season. Klipp will fake the deep shot. Now he's going to scramble. He'll get out of bounds just shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, obviously good coverage downfield and not wanting to run, but willing to. His 5th rush of the night. That one was more out of necessity, and he gets about 5.
And that's a good, smart decision there by Klippel. He's made a mistake or two early in this game. Coverage doing a good job down the field by the Vikings, so he tucks it down and still gets a positive play for Grafton.
Yeah, time not really a factor here, just a one-score game.
2nd and 5, 7:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Handoff to Nelson. Nelson stuttering to the line of scrimmage, and there's nothing there for Jack Nelson.
Yeah, gets a couple, but this Vikings defense is putting the clamps on a little bit, and Henry Loger is the first man out from that pile. It's been a team effort.
You can see Jack Nelson is just looking for a little bit of space to accelerate into. A phenomenal running back. He had an offer from Air Force this spring, but ultimately Mount Horeb Barneveld's defensive line has started to win this battle here against Grafton.
Yeah, Grafton was going hurry up there on that situation as well.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by PWA Insurance, offering you the best rates and the best coverage on home, auto, commercial, and farm insurance. And by A-Plus Plumbing Services, South Central Wisconsin's trusted plumber for over 20 years. A-Plus Plumbing Services.
Well, an interesting situation here, Evan. It's a 3rd down and 2, and probably a go-for-it situation. If Grafton unable to get that first down on 3rd down, be a pretty manageable one up around midfield. And you figure, one-score game here, first half. So we'll see what the Blackhawks have, see if the Vikings can get a stop on 3rd down to make that decision even harder.
I think if you're MHB and you're Brett St. Arnold, you know this ball is going into the arms of Jack Nelson. So defensively, do you send the blitz here? They will hand it to Nelson. Nelson takes it to the left side where he finally has a little bit of running room. Only about 5 yards, but that is enough to move the chains for the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
a much-needed first down.
Needed a couple, and obviously got enough there. And a fresh set here. All 3 timeouts for Grafton, so clock really not much of a concern. Vikings do get the ball to start the second half, though. Grafton took the ball to start, and that's where the Vikings forced a turnover and got our only points of this first half. If you're a Vikings coach up to this point, you've got to be really pleased with how things have turned out.
You mentioned the Vikings getting the ball back, too. If you're looking ahead, potentially a 2-for-1 situation coming up on the next drive for Mount Horeb Barneveld. Whistle blows. We're going to get a timeout taken by head coach Jim Norris of Grafton with 6 minutes and 1 second remaining. Mount Horeb Barneveld up 7-0. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club, an organization focused on assisting development of youth football players in Mount Horeb, and by the American Legion Post 113 in Mount Horeb, supporting veterans, their families, and the entire Mount Horeb community.
Great opening night of football, and we talked about it in the pregame, Evan, and these are the types of games that you really want for your program, no matter the situation. But I'm really happy that they've set this at least a 2-year agreement, and I'm not sure if it goes past this year, but MHB traveling to Grafton last year and then Grafton returning to favor. What a tremendous, and I think one of the highlight actual games around the state. You look at it, it's right here tonight.
I was looking at the slate for high school football, and like you said, I mean, you've got potentially a top 10 or even top 5 team in D3 in Mount Horeb Barneveld. You've got Grafton, who just moved up to D2 after winning the state title, as this pass is complete. What a hit! Oh my goodness! Andy Tran just got smashed down to the ground.
Yeah, that was Henry Loger, who was chasing the quarterback and then reset his eyes, and Tran might be seeing that one in his nightmares tonight.
Tran looking to make a juke, kind of stutter and reset like you said, and that allowed Loger to catch up with him. And boy, did he lay the boom on that one.
Been really impressed with the pursuit of this MHB defense. Several times not giving up and making some splash plays.
2nd and 7 now, 5:10 to play in the second quarter. Nelson tripped up. It looked like he had a hole on the left side of the offensive line and might have even collided with one of his own teammates in the backfield.
That's kind of what it looked like, right? And I thought so too live, was maybe getting tangled up. And, yeah, sure enough, he gets tangled with his left tackle.
That's Caleb Drake Gray, and he kind of just bumped shoulder guards there, and down he went.
Yeah, just a couple, though.
Another big third down upcoming for Grafton. 3rd and 5. One receiver to each side. It's Kanan Shaw. Quick throw over to Shaw. Shaw cutting inside to make the grab. A nice cut, and it looked like it was Cullen Olson that he beat on the far side of the field.
Yeah, you're going to see very similar offenses here at times. That quick slant is such a tough one to cover, and you put your athletes in space. The Vikings have had athletes over the years. That's just been an easy pitch and catch to the likes of Chris Keel and et cetera over the years.
And maybe just too much space given by the corner on that play, right? You only had 5 yards to gain. The corner playing about 10 yards off the line. Jack Nelson has not had much success so far in the first half, picking up just about, they're going to give him 2 yards up to the Mount Horeb 30 on that one.
Yeah, I know it was a first down, but I think the secondary is really just trying to keep those athletes in front of them and really focusing on those short yardage opportunities.
Pictured there, Eli Meyer, the biggest impact player in this game so far. An interception, a forced fumble. He's been doing it on the ground as well. A huge 36-yard run to set up the Vikings' lone touchdown of the game. Klippel to the air, lobs it up there, and it's brought down on the far sideline. Grafton getting all the way into the red zone, down to the 15-yard line. That grab was made by Vince Schiller. Klippel's doing a great job of reading not where his receiver is, but where they're going to be. There hasn't necessarily been much steam on these footballs, but they've been thrown in the right spots.
Yeah, MHB's been pretty close in a lot of situations. That time they go empty backfield and flooded the secondary.
Handoff to Nelson. Nelson has an edge, and he'll scamper out of bounds. A couple of Vikings sealing it off. Initially, it looked like he might be able to have a big pickup there. Once again, the pursuit and the recovery by this Vikings defense.
Yeah, 11 rushes, 45 yards for Nelson here. MHB has done the job of containing him for sure. And, you know, what matters is the scoreboard, and MHB clinging to that 7-0 lead here late in this first half. No matter how many big plays you make, the scoreboard's what matters. Nice drive here for Grafton.
It's the first red zone opportunity of the game for the Blackhawks. Klippel fakes the handoff. Klippel stepping up, and he's going to flip it forward. That ball is caught by Nelson. No, they're going to say he was out of bounds. Klippel with his head on a swivel, trying to maneuver that ball to his running back, and it just barely didn't work out. Still a great heads-up play.
11th play of the drive coming up here. So a sustained drive for Grafton. Just out of bounds was Nelson. 3rd down and a little bit longer here for Grafton.
Grafton does have a 4-star kicker in Ronan Burns, so if they're stopped here, they could send out the field goal unit. This is Klippel, but movement up front before the snap. It looks like it'll go against Grafton. Yes, false start is signaled. That'll bring up 3rd and 10. Ronan Burns was reported to have hit a 62-yard field goal in practice. I was told they'd be comfortable sending him out between 40 and 45 yards in this game.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for a sophomore in high school. Obviously, having that sort of leg gives you some more options, and in a game like this, maybe points at a premium. You take them when you can, but plenty of time here, and Grafton has all 3 timeouts. Clock really isn't a factor. It's just down and distance is the biggest thing right now.
3rd and 10, 2:55 to play. Klippel, not much time. Does he have the arm strength to get it to Shaw? No, he does not. An underthrown ball, but Klippel couldn't get much on it because he was on the run from that Vikings defensive line. It's 4th and 10, and Ronan Burns and the field goal unit will head out to the field.
Yeah, a little underthrown and a little bit of pressure in quarterback's face. They'll put this ball on the left hash. Really not much of a breeze to even mention here tonight. The flags aren't even moving on the south goalpost.
It's a 32-yarder for Burns, who attended the Indianapolis Colts kicking camp. That's why he's a 4-star recruit, as he showed out there. But this one is wide to the right. Burns no good from 32 yards. And the Vikings will get the football back with 2 minutes and 44 seconds to go in the first half, up by 7 with a 2-for-1 opportunity.
Wow, this MHB defense is showing out here tonight. Causing that possible penalty, which backed him up 5 yards, an underthrown ball, and a missed field goal. So, boy, a 7-0 lead is looking pretty good right now. You're talking clock situation, and Grafton does have all those timeouts left, so MHB is going to have to get at least 1 first down here.
Vikings start their drive at the 15-yard line. Grafton has just been the team that's made all the mistakes so far in this game. That's been the difference. It's been a clean game for the Vikings. In the backfield, it's Helen. Helen's going to launch this one, and it is caught by DeRozier. Hauled in by the big tight end, making a huge impact for the first time this game. The Vikings are all the way down to the opposing 48-yard line.
32 yards on that, and Henry last year was the man who made a big splash plays, and what a catch.
DeRozier, a 6'2 senior, clocking in at 210 pounds. And Brad, we talked before the game of just how big he looks down there. Man, he's put a lot of muscle on. DeRozier bobbling this one and is able to bring it in before stepping out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for the big tight end, Henry DeRozier. And this Vikings offense is humming.
You know, Henry, he has a look of a player who played in the 90s. That might have been when I played. The neck roll was famous back then. I love a player who features that.
2nd and 5 at the Grafton 42-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 man left. Eli Meyer stands behind Helen. Helen moving left. He's hit as he throws. Deep, DeRozier's out of bounds, but they throw a flag. It'll be pass interference. Even though DeRozier was already out of bounds, the Vikings get bailed out on that play.
Yeah, that's an interesting call right there, and you're right. That ball was well out of bounds, and well, maybe closer to inbounds than initial eyes gave us, so the Vikings will take it nonetheless.
And all of a sudden, the clock isn't an issue for Mount Horeb Barneveld because of that huge throw down the field to DeRozier. 2 minutes, 12 seconds, 2 timeouts. You can run whatever play you want.
Yeah, the Vikings putting the ball into their new trigger man's hands here tonight. And after the first series featuring Meyer, it's been Harvey Helen who's provided a lift and moving this team down inside the 30-yard line. And plenty of time left here for the Vikings.
1st and 10 at the 27. A terrific first half in Harvey Helen's debut for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings. Helen to the air once again. Oh, it's a screen. It's almost picked off, but it hit the ground. Helen lobbed it up and just didn't see that last defensive lineman there, and he gets away with it.
Yeah, I think if he completes this, there's quite a bit of green space in front of Meyer. Well-established screen, but just didn't get enough air on that. And you could see the screen kind of developing right from the start.
That's Sam Benter, the senior, 6 foot, 230 pounds for the Grafton Blackhawks that almost made the one-handed interception. Instead, the Vikings still threatening. Helen, the handoff. Meyer breaks outside. About 4 defenders greet him, but he still spins for another couple yards.
Yeah, stays in bounds, though. Keeps the clock running under 2 minutes. Again, the Vikings get the ball to start the second half, so probably playing into their play calls here. Gets to the 24.
You wonder if staying in bounds there is maybe intentional, like you said, because at this rate, if you're throwing the football, the clock is simply not an issue.
Yeah, hard to say really there in that situation what their philosophy is. Obviously, you don't want to give Grafton much time, but you want to give yourself a real chance to score here at the end of the second quarter.
3rd and 7, $1:20 now remaining in the half. Flag flies and the whistle blows. This will likely go against the Vikings. It's a false start. That is a critical penalty that will set the Vikings back to the 29-yard line for 3rd and 12.
Field position's on their side, though, so you try to get half of this back and give yourself a chance on 4th down. I'm not sure what their comfort level is in the field goal game yet this year. I think they're comfortable with Cullen Olson from a certain distance, but unsure what that is at this point. This coaching staff, they've been uber aggressive under Brett St. Arnold's watch, so I would imagine that's going to continue here in 2026.
Olson 1 for 2 on his field goal attempts last season, making from 36 yards. But we don't know what the end of his range is. Helen has all day, looking to the end zone. It's underthrown and swatted away. Intended for DeRozier once again. Helen just didn't have enough under that football. It'll be 4th and 12 from the 29. And is this a punt, Brad?
I think they're going to try a field goal here, Evan. So you're looking at about 46 yards. Ball's at the 29-yard line. And no wind to speak of. So I think this is the right call. Try to get some points here.
49 seconds on the clock. Olson's leg getting tested in week 1 from 46. The kick is up, and it is short. He has the leg strength. You could see it there, but just didn't get that ball spiraling end over end. It's a missed field goal for the Vikings. 1st and 10 now for Grafton at the 29-yard line with 44 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, I'd be curious to talk to Cullen after that just to see the operation. It felt like a little rushed on multiple levels there, but I'd like to try it and see. It's a lot different, obviously, as you've got a rush in your face on executing a field goal, and why not try that in a week 1 game? So both teams are unsuccessful from the field goal side of things. 44 seconds left, so a great job of bleeding some clock there as well after a big play to DeRozier, who kind of got things going. And this Vikings team holding on to this 7-point lead.
I think that's one of the reasons. Why are they setting the ball back to the 20? I mean, this should be at the 29, right?
I think because of the missed field goal in high school, it moves to 20.
Okay. Klippel stepping up in the pocket, fakes the throw. Klippel tucks it down, and he's dragged down from behind. Now he gets out to the 29-yard line, and they're signaling move the chain, so they'll give Klippel the 30.
Got to the 30.
That stops the clock momentarily with 33 seconds. Clock is now ticking once again. Quick throw near side. It's Parker Shaw. Shaw is hit hard before he got out of bounds. That's important. Shaw paused there for a moment but didn't step out of bounds, so that is a legal clean hit. It does stop the clock, however, with 25 seconds. And now all of a sudden you think back to Ronan Burns, who was reportedly good from 62 yards, and with the clock winding down in the first half, maybe they only need to get to about the 40-45-yard line of Mount Horeb Barneveld. That's going to hurt. Jack Nelson with an early step in the backfield. So it'll be 2nd and 9 now from the 31.
Obviously, we know MHB's story a little bit more than Grafton, but you just see a bit of inexperience here from both sides of the ball. And Grafton here not playing a clean first half, and this is week one. I mean, this is and a lot of new faces, unlike last year's team that had guys that were playing as sophomores, juniors, seniors, a little bit more inexperience here after a really big senior class graduating for Grafton last year.
Big situation for Grafton. Klippel, quick out route to Parker Shaw, hits him, and Shaw gets out of bounds. Only 4 seconds tick off the clock, and it is enough for a first down. A very productive play there for the Blackhawks. That's the plan there. An out route. Shaw gets a step on his defender, and the ball greets him on the sideline. That's textbook there from Grafton.
Yeah, 21 seconds left here. They've got a couple timeouts in their pocket.
Klippel
setting up the
under
screen.
duress. It's a screen to Jack Nelson, but Nelson is brought down by 3 Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings. Timeout called by Grafton with 14 seconds to go.
I mean, you can't defend a screen any better. Dylan Randall, DeRozier in there, just a full complement of Vikings have really been corralling Nelson here tonight. He's been held to 45 yards rushing. That time losing a yard on the screenplay.
Like you said, you can't defend a screen any better. You've got 2 defensive linemen that get through to pressure the quarterback, and then you have 3 from that front 7 right on Jack Nelson. They read the play like a book, and there's nothing Nelson can do.
Grafton with 1 timeout left here, showing on the Jumbotron here at Mount Horeb Stadium. Reportedly, you can see it from the International Space Station, but that's unconfirmed.
Certainly bright out there. That's
big-time contribution from Terry Kurth. Great asset here to this athletics program.
It's fantastic. Makes for a nice viewing experience for the fans here at the field. Klippel, 14 seconds remaining. Another out route. Kane couldn't get there. DeRozier with the deflection just undercut that route perfectly.
Yeah, probably not the ideal matchup, but DeRozier doing a nice job of staying step for step with Kane. And now the clock is a situation here, Evan. 9 seconds remaining here. And, to get even outside that very long range would be another 15 yards at minimum. And then you have to give yourself enough time to stop the clock. 9 seconds left here.
15 yards would get them to the 45. This is caught by Shaw across the 50. Shaw scrambling. He's got to get down, and he does at the 47. There was 1 second to go on the clock, but then it ticked to 0. Will they put it back on? The Vikings are headed to the locker room. The officials are blowing their whistle. When Parker Shaw was down on the ground, there was 1 second. They're going to put it back on the clock. Grafton is going to call a timeout. The ball is at the Vikings' 47-yard line, and the Blackhawks will have one last-ditch effort. This would be a 64-yard field goal for Ronan Burns, or a Hail Mary attempt, and frankly, you wonder if Klippel has the arm to even get it there. Wouldn't you love to see a 64-yard field goal attempt here, Brad?
In high school, I would say that'd be the first for me in 25 years. And that's looking like an offense out there, Evan.
Yes, it is. I think it's a long shot either way you slice it. A Hail Mary or a 64-yarder, which would be just about record-setting at the high school level. Klippel will go deep. Klippel steps up under pressure. Now he's going to run. Klippel makes the man miss out to the 30. 25-20, puts on the brakes, running away from an entire defense. And down he goes. That will do it for the first half of football at Mount Horeb High School. The Vikings jump out to an immediate 7-0 lead. And that's where we still stand as we head to halftime here on Wisco Radio.
Go long.
It's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weed Man to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weed Man. Call or click today.
Located in the heart of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, Norsk Golf Club boasts a tough but fair 9 holes that will be challenging and fun for golfers of all ages. Norsk Golf Club is dedicated to serving our community by creating a family-friendly destination for golf, outdoor recreation, and entertainment in every season while preserving the irreplaceable green space in the center of Mount Horeb. Don't forget about our bar and grill, bowling lanes, and to stop by and watch the Wisco Radio broadcasts. To book a tee time, visit us online at norskgolfclub.com or call 608-437-3399. That's 608-437-3399.
At Bank CMG, we believe strong communities start with strong relationships. After all, success is a team sport, and so is community banking. That's why we're proud to support the local businesses, farms, families, and schools that make our communities such great places to live and work. Whether you're looking to grow your business, finance your next big dream, or build your savings for the future, Bank CMG is here to help you move forward. For more details, visit our website at www.bankcmg.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ritchie's Implement is Southwest Wisconsin's leading distributor of new and used farm equipment since 1961. With 4 convenient locations in Cobb, Darlington, Barneveld, and Lancaster, Ritchie's can serve you better. Stop in and see us and you'll know why we're one of the largest Case IH agricultural dealers in Wisconsin. Visit ritchiesinc.com today to learn more.
I don't know what's actually in your kids' equipment bags, and honestly, neither do they. But I do know where you can score great deals on quality vehicles, equipment, trailers, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by A-Plus Plumbing Services. A-Plus Plumbing Services has you covered for all your plumbing needs. Proudly serving Mount Horeb and the surrounding communities for over 25 years, A-Plus Plumbing delivers dependable, professional service when you need it most. For quality plumbing and service you can count on, call A-Plus Plumbing Services.
The Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is an organization focused on assisting in the development of youth football players and raising funds for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Football program. The mission of the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is to work cooperatively with the Mount Horeb and Barneveld school districts to support the efforts of the Mount Horeb Barneveld High School Football Program and the Mount Horeb Barneveld Youth Football Program. To learn more about the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club or to find out ways to support the program, head to mhb-football.com. That's mhb-football.com.
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at wisconsinsurplus.com.
PWA Insurance Group is an independent insurance agency in Mount Horeb, representing over 15 insurance companies so we can find the one that's perfect for you. From business, personal, life, or farm insurance, we have built our reputation on the belief that it is possible to provide you with the best insurance coverage at the lowest possible price, while always striving to provide you with the highest level of customer service. For more information, call 608-437-3325 or visit pwa-insurance.com.
My name's Al Brunig. I served in the United States Navy from 1971 to 1975, active duty.
Wisco Radio's Salute to Service, telling the stories of our community.
I was extremely proud of being able to put that uniform on. First time away from home, something I did all by myself, and was looking forward to all the adventures ahead of me. I've said this many times. Everything in my life has pivoted off of my time in the Navy. Absolutely everything. I came home on Liberty after being overseas for 10 months. Short story, that's when I met the lady I married a year and a half later. And everything from that point on, I would not have met her had I not come home from on Liberty for 4 days. And everything from that point on is pivoted off of that. It was with mixed emotions, actually. As I said, we had gotten married about 14 months before my enlistment was up. So we were excited about the next thing in our lives and the next chapter. And we've thought many times about what would have happened had I stayed had I at least stayed on active reserves. But we have no regrets. So coming home was great. Getting back into normal life was great to an extent. The best thing about the American Legion is the camaraderie that's developed between the various branches. You will hear a lot of remarks one way or the other about various branches. Me being in the Navy, that's somewhat of a minority. Most of the guys are Army guys, and I always say, well, they couldn't get in the Navy, so they had to go in the Army. Navy only takes the best. So it's that camaraderie. It's the old stories, and it's kind of a little bit back in the military, but not. I needed to get out of town.
To learn more about the American Legion Post 113 or to join, scan the QR code below or go to MountHorebAmericanLegion.com. That's MountHorebAmericanLegion.com.
People always ask me, Jessica, how do you change a tire? Well, my name's not Jessica, and I have no idea. But what I can tell you is where to find the best deals on vehicles, equipment, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at WisconsinSurplus.com.
Go long. That's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weedman to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weedman. Call or click today.
Located in the heart of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, Norsk Golf Club boasts a tough but fair 9 holes that will be challenging and fun for golfers of all ages. Norsk Golf Club is dedicated to serving our community by creating a family-friendly destination for golf, outdoor recreation, and entertainment in every season while preserving the irreplaceable green space in the center of Mount Horeb. Don't forget about our bar and grill, bowling lanes, and to stop by and watch the Wisco Radio broadcasts. To book a tee time, visit us online at norskgolfclub.com or call 608-437-3399. That's 608-437-3399.
At Bank CMG, we believe strong communities start with strong relationships. After all, success is a team sport, and so is community banking. That's why we're proud to support the local businesses, farms, families, and schools that make our communities such great places to live and work. Whether you're looking to grow your business, finance your next big dream, or build your savings for the future, Bank CMG is here to help you move forward. For more details, visit our website at www.bankcmg.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ritchie's Implement is Southwest Wisconsin's leading distributor of new and used farm equipment since 1961. With 4 convenient locations in Cobb, Darlington, Barneveld, and Lancaster, Ritchie's can serve you better. Stop in and see us, and you'll know why we're one of the largest Case IH agricultural dealers in Wisconsin. Visit ritchiesinc.com today to learn more.
I don't know what's actually in your kids' equipment bags, and honestly, neither do they. But I do know where you can score great deals on quality vehicles, equipment, trailers, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by A-Plus Plumbing Services. A-Plus Plumbing Services has you covered for all your plumbing needs. Proudly serving Mount Horeb and the surrounding communities for over 25 years, A-Plus Plumbing delivers dependable, professional service when you need it most. For quality plumbing and service you can count on, call A-Plus Plumbing Services.
The Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is an organization focused on assisting in the development of youth football players and raising funds for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Football program. The mission of the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is to work cooperatively with the Mount Horeb and Barneveld school districts to support the efforts of the Mount Horeb Barneveld High School Football Program and the Mount Horeb Barneveld Youth Football Program. To learn more about the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club or to find out ways to support the program, head to mhb-football.com. That's mhb-football.com.
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at wisconsinsurplus.com.
I'm here with Eli Meyer. Eli, a couple of weeks of practice now in the books. What's it been like getting back out onto the field with the guys?
Honestly, it's been really exciting. The energy's been awesome. We're just really preparing to take down Grafton. It's been super fun getting back out there.
You made level 3 of the WIAA playoffs last year. You played a big role on that team. How have you taken that experience kind of into the first couple weeks of practice this year?
Yeah, so honestly, taking from like level 3 at practice, we want to be more intense right away. In games, we kind of started off pretty slow, and from practice, we're gonna translate starting fast in practice, starting fast in games.
How has the offense come together, 2 weeks between the offensive line, skill positions? How has the team chemistry kind of formed really over a short amount of time?
Yeah, the team chemistry, honestly, since we have a lot of guys returning that were starting O-linemen, it's honestly great. It's been some like the best 2 weeks I've had ever playing football, honestly, and it's just been really good.
Well, pretty high praise. And then you've got Grafton coming up on Friday. What are you most excited for about that game?
What am I most excited for? Probably just the opportunity to beat them because we lost last year, so the opportunity to win this time. And that they won state coming off that, getting it for a first week victory would be pretty big.
Yeah, you played them week 1 again last year, so have you gone back to the tape of last year's game to kind of prepare for this season's game, and what have you really seen there?
Yeah, so we have been, like, as a team collectively too, because it's a lot of the same plays, but just different players, obviously. What we've seen is, it's nothing new, obviously, so we know our jobs. It's just execution at that point.
What do you think is going to be the most important part of that game if you got a key to the game week 1 against Grafton?
Coach Saint's been telling us don't flinch. Like, no matter what, no matter how physical, strong, anything, don't flinch and just come off the ball.
Well, we've heard that a couple of times now. Eli, thanks so much for your time, and good luck on Friday.
Yep, thank you.
PWA Insurance Group is an independent insurance agency in Mount Horeb, representing over 15 insurance companies so we can find the one that's perfect for you. From business, personal, life, or farm insurance, we have built our reputation on the belief that it is possible to provide you with the best insurance coverage at the lowest possible price, while always striving to provide you with the highest level of customer service. For more information, call 608-437-3325 or visit pwa-insurance.com.
I'm here with Cullen Olson. Cullen, it's the end of the summer, which means football is coming back here in Mount Horeb, and you've had 2 weeks, no school, just football. What has that time been like to get back with the team?
It's been great. Practice has been feeling really good. One thing about this year that's kind of cool is that school's starting super early, so all the energy is amplified even more than in past previous years. So.
You talk about a lot of energy. School's just starting. You're taking on the defending state champs in Grafton. What's that moment going to be like Friday night when you hit the field?
Everything just means so much more with school starting. I feel like with school starting, everyone's going to be there. More students than compared to other seasons when going into those first games, school hadn't started yet. But just a big target Grafton coming back. They're the state champs of last year, so we have a really big focus to try to put them down.
It's funny, I feel like not many kids talk about how much they're excited to have school start early, but anyways, coming into this season, offensively, defensively, how has this team really come together over the past 2 weeks?
One thing that's really special about this team is everyone's so close and connected. I've been here for 4 years now, and there's something special just about the connection that we have between these guys that are here. Yeah, pretty much. It's just so special to the team we have right now.
What do you think is going to be the key to Friday, right? Taking on Grafton, a team that beat Mount Horeb last year. What's it going to take to defeat Grafton?
Pretty similar to what Eli said. We need to come out fast. Previous years, it's where it takes almost a whole quarter for us to get moving. And as well as that, it's a faceless opponent. No matter who we play, we know what we have as a team, and that shouldn't have any pull on what the other team has against us. It's any other team that we're playing.
All right, thanks, Colin, and good luck Friday.
Thank you so much.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. Vikings 7, Blackhawks 0 as we enter the third quarter. Evan Epstein back alongside Brad Richardson. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the action at wisconsinsurplus.com. Brad, an entertaining first half. Both offenses gained some traction, but not much to show for it. It's still just 7-0 Vikings.
Yeah, looking at the halftime stats here, and by all accounts, right, MHB doing what they need to do. They're holding Jack Nelson to 45 yards on the ground and just 97 as a team. And the Vikings stats may not look the best, but I tell you what, they're leading 7-0, and they'll definitely take that.
Let's put Jack Nelson's numbers in perspective to last year. Last year, he rushed for over 1,900 yards on the season, had over 2,000 all-purpose yards. So even though 45 yards and a half might seem like a good number, in reality, the Vikings have done a great job limiting his presence.
Yeah, just 11 carries, too. It's been 7 carries for Klippel out of the quarterback spot, but MHB's defense has come up big and a couple turnovers as well.
Burns to send it away. Baumgart and Jeglum deep for the Vikings. And this one is going to go out the back of the end zone. There's that big leg from Ronan Burns.
Yeah, we mentioned even after actual tornado sirens going off here in Mount Horeb about 4:30 this afternoon, it's turned into a great night. No wind to speak of here tonight, so it really turned into a great evening for high school football.
Harvey Helen will head back out onto the field to begin the second half, and he looked very composed in the first half. The first drive of the game for the Vikings, in which he didn't throw the football, well, Eli Meyer took most of the carries. Helen with a 1-yard scramble for the touchdown, and since then, he's been excellent in the air as well.
6 of 9 for 68 yards through the air, and Eli Meyer, 10 rushes, 64 yards.
Pretty good stat lines there for two of the most important pieces on the Vikings offense. Meyer to the left, cuts back up the middle, and still managing to churn his way forward for an extra couple of yards, despite the fact that he had 3 Blackhawks on his back.
And Eli might be cramping up here. Left tackle Evan Leibfried is providing the cramping assist after a 6-yard gain by Meyer.
And Brett St. Arnold's will take over, and that's a textbook cramp. You're stretching the leg. Hopefully Meyer's all right. We're still early season, right? So those things are prone to happen. Players aren't used to, playing a full 60-minute game. A full 48-minute game here at night. So still kind of settling into things for the season.
Yeah, it's one of those where you just hate to see it as a coach, obviously, and you spend so much time preparing and hoping your guys are ready to go, and cramps can definitely hinder that. Meyer working on a 70-yard rushing night, so a 6-yard carry on first down. You see what he can do, though, yards after contact. He's very hard to get down after that initial contact, something we saw last year as well, and that time getting extra yards after contact.
You've seen that all throughout the first half, right? And you saw that from Jack Nelson as well. You've got 2 big backs that can get a burst of speed, and if they have some acceleration, they're going to drag a couple of men with them for a few yards. And this is a little bit strange for a cramp. Meyer is still down. You hope he's all right. We'll hit a break. 11:42 to go here in the third quarter. Vikings up 7-0.
Moho Fitness is Mount Horeb's family fitness center, providing 24/7, no-contract membership options for adults, families, seniors, and students. Parents, do you have a young athlete looking to take their training to the next level? Moho Fitness offers youth classes to help teach young athletes how to train with the correct techniques. Youth classes for 4th through 8th graders are after school every Monday through Thursday. For more information, visit mohofitness.com or email jeff@mohofitness.com.
Founded in 1919, the Mount Horeb American Legion Post 113 is dedicated to supporting veterans, the community, youth, and families alike, and the defense of the United States. To learn more about the American Legion Post 113 or to join, scan the QR code below or go to MountHorebAmericanLegion.com. That's MountHorebAmericanLegion.com.
Are you in need of chiropractic services? Dr. Joe Ryan at Mount Horeb Chiropractic will provide the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient. Dr. Ryan uses advanced spinal correction and chiropractic adjustments utilizing state-of-the-art techniques. Dr. Ryan has years of training, expertise, and experience in helping patients get relief from their back pain, neck pain, and other related conditions. Located at 1840 Business Highway 18151 next to Pizza Hut, or call 608-437-0099 to set up an appointment today.
Eli Meyer was able to walk off the field on his own power, putting weight on both legs. Helen taking it himself, and, well, frankly, he had nowhere to go. The Blackhawks defense had managed to just seal the outside. That'll be a loss for Harvey Helen, and it was a long time to be down on the field for a cramp, but because he was able to walk off and put weight on both legs, that's what I'm thinking, although you don't want to speculate.
Just the second carry of the night for the quarterback there.
3rd and 5 now at the 25-yard line. Jeglum in the backfield to replace Eli Meyer. Helen, a quick throw. He finds Cullen Olson. Olson catching that one as he went down for about 7 yards. It's a first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, just enough to do a nice job of getting past the sticks and moving the chains. Hayden Jeglum getting his first action here tonight at the running back position. He had a possible first down that was taken back by a penalty earlier in that first half.
Helen to the air again. It's another quick out to Cullen Olson. Olson breaks free from that first tackle. He stepped out of bounds, however. Still, though, a solid gain for the Vikings offense. It'll be an 8-yard reception for Cullen Olson.
Yeah, featuring the right side here, and they are without Django Christian, who factors to be an important piece of this offense. He's dealing with injury that happened on 7-7, so be good to get him back here, hopefully upcoming.
Important to note with Jeglum in, it does appear that to start the season, Hayden Jeglum will be in that RB2 role for the Vikings. What a job by the offensive line there for the Vikings. A lot of daylight for Hayden Jeglum as Jeglum scurries out to the 46-yard line. It's another 1st and 10 for Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Yeah, it's going to be really important here for Hayden to trust his eyes, and a young, inexperienced running back. Maybe a chance there to cut it outside, but he did a nice job of cutting inside, but maybe that experience will help him here.
Handoff goes to Jeglum, and Jeglum is greeted as soon as he got the football. Jason Grunwald breaking into the backfield to bring down Jeglum for a loss on the play.
Yeah, kind of selling out there to stop the run and able to drop him for about a 4-yard loss. And Eli Meyer on the training table. They're trying to roll out his calf.
The hope for the Vikings likely is that he's back for the next drive. Quick throw to Olson once again. That's been a common play. Is that a little curl route that Olson's running there, Brad?
Yeah, a little curl there, and in front of, you can see the defenders are just trying to keep things in front as well, much like MHB is doing. They haven't shown the ability to throw downfield much here. Taking what the defense has given them.
There's only been one deep reception, and that was to DeRozier at the end of the first half, just down the middle.
Yeah, kind of a jump ball situation at that as well. It was a good ball, but DeRozier doing a nice job of coming back for that one. So a 3rd down and 10 here. Long 3rd down situation.
2 receivers near side, 1 man out to the left. Helen It's a screen, and he finds DeRozier in the flats. DeRozier gets close to the 50. It's going to be 4th down, and the Vikings will have to punt this one away.
Yeah, maybe a little rushed on that throw, but getting some positive yards nonetheless.
Cullen Olson once again back to punt. We've been calling his name a lot this game. Effective as a receiver. At least this game, he appears to be the wide receiver 1 for this Vikings offense. The punter, the kicker, doing it all for the Vikings as this punt bounces at the 30 and rolls out of bounds to the 26-yard line.
There's a flag far side.
And you would think, based on where it is, sitting around the 46-yard line, it'll likely be against Grafton. Although it's kind of between the punt and the return. It's a weird spot.
Yeah, far side of the field. The punt was coming to the right. The flag is on the left side of the field. So I obviously didn't see it.
Still awaiting an official word.
Illegal participation. That's going to be an automatic first down for MHB.
Wow. What happened there?
That'll be the greatest mystery we will not solve tonight.
It was 4th and 6. 12 men on the field is a 5-yard penalty. It would be 4th and 1. Illegal participation, so maybe you had someone from the sideline that got involved in the play?
That's what it feels like. It's a 15-yard variety, so it's obviously a big-ticket item. That was a Wisconsin surplus plug, by the way. If you guys didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I'll be here all season. But hats off to Wisconsin Surplus for being our title sponsor. Really appreciate everyone who jumps on board our Wisco Radio broadcasts, really enabling us to do our best broadcast and highlight especially Mount Horeb Barneveld Football. So all kidding aside, really appreciating our sponsors every single year.
1st and 10. Vikings now at the 37-yard line with renewed life on this drive. Helen deep. Someone got held up there. Cullen Olson had to play defense to swat that football away from Jason Grunwald. So Olson starts playing defense there. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
Yeah, officials maybe thinking a penalty against DeRozier, but the officials didn't honor that request.
8:19 to play here in quarter number 3. Helen will get the play call and head back out to join the offense. And we talked a little bit about big mistakes in the first half haunting Grafton. There's another one. Two receivers left, one receiver right. Helen fakes the handoff, and he'll find DeRozier. DeRozier has room to rumble. He gets down to the 26-yard line. A pickup of 10 for DeRozier. 1st and 10, Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first half, too. Really, both quarterbacks like getting outside the pockets, and Helen just better sight lines for him. And really effective play. And DeRozier, nice connection. 52 yards on 4 receptions for DeRozier, who had a breakout year a year ago. Over 100 yards passing here tonight for Harvey Helen.
Helen gives to Jeglum. Jeglum, a juke to the right. Nifty footwork there from Hayden Jeglum.
Yeah, you see his quick feet, and that's one thing that the coaching staff really loves. Dynamic basketball player as well. And it's going to be important for him, though, to really realize that one cut is what you need, but a fantastic job of extending that play.
Injured Blackhawk down on the field is Caleb Drake Gray, a 6'3" offensive and defensive lineman. We hope he is all right.
Yeah, it looks like maybe a cramping situation for Grafton.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Don't sit on the sidelines. Get in the action at wisconsinsurplus.com. And by Surplus Suds. You've got mud, we've got suds. Head on over to Surplus Suds, a new business coming to Mount Horeb. And Brad, I don't know if you've been over there, but they've been doing a great job with that setup.
I have not seen that yet, but just looking over here to Ramsey Schulting, who's helping us with the drive chart here, Ramsey. And what you've got, a pretty nice drive shaping up here for MHB in the second half. Yeah, really good job there. Thank you, Ramsey, for being here and checking things out. Hopefully we get a chance to hear from Ramsey throughout the year. Any other high school students out there who have an interest in broadcasting or want to see how video production works, this is your spot, and we're happy to have you and tag along. And boy, it's been fun to see a lot of the grads go do great things, both in broadcasting and just in life.
1st and 10 now at the Grafton 26.
Yeah, 2nd and 6 there at down marker far side is hard to see.
Helen underthrows that one just a touch, looking for DeRozier, who is turning into one of his favorite targets in this game.
Yeah, big time drive here for MHB, eating up this third quarter clock. Play number 14 upcoming. Obviously, they got a big gift on that punt, but nonetheless, they are taking advantage. And I would think here, well, we'll see, maybe 4 down territory, but you're getting a little bit closer to Cullen Olson's field goal, more comfortable range. And boy, what would 3 more points look like in this affair?
That would turn it into a 2-possession game. It would be huge. I think you might see a run here, try and get it to 4th and short. Nope, they'll go to the air. Helen for DeRozier. DeRozier makes the catch. Touchdown, Vikings!
What a throw from Helen, right on the money to DeRozier. 22-yard touchdown strike, and the Vikings take a 2-score lead.
13-0. Mount Horeb Barneveld has the defending champs on the back rope.
Oh, the protection was outstanding, and just enough there in between 2 defenders.
A great job by Harvey Helen of standing strong in the pocket. The pocket held, but there was some pressure in his face. He still makes that throw on the money to DeRozier. Mount Horeb touchdowns this season are brought to you by Richie's Implement. That big enough to serve you, small enough to know you, and the extra point is up and through. A big thank you to Richie's Implement, our touchdown sponsor for this season, as Mount Horeb Barneveld leads 14-0.
Impressive drive for the Vikings, 14 plays, 80 yards. And this MHB team takes a 14-0 lead. That was very, very impressive. And that was with Eli Meyer going out early in that opening drive. He has remained on the training table, and it just looks like they're really trying to work out a cramp. A 2-score lead for the Vikings.
Meyer has an interception and a forced fumble in this game. It doesn't appear as if he's going to get back out on the field for this drive. Defensively for the Vikings, DeRozier stepping up as that main option with Eli Meyer on the bench, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that this season for a couple of reasons. You talked about how Harvey Helen likes to roll out right. Well, that works perfectly when you have a tight end set up on the right side of the offensive line, and it's a pretty easy throw on the run for Helen. And then he's also been the main deep threat for this Vikings offense as well.
Yeah, 17 pass attempts, 122 yards, a touchdown throw as well.
This is returned at the 5 by Malik Kane. Boy, he's got some speed, but he's tripped up just before he gets to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, one of the gunners, Sam Grundle, knifed him down. A great job of tracking down the ball carrier. Sam's made a couple nice plays in this one, the junior. Good athlete himself.
That was Andy Tran on the return, as he had a full head of steam, but
yeah, he's been rocked a couple times here tonight. So Grafton gets the ball the first time in this third quarter with 7:11 remaining. MHB ball control and could not have drawn it up any better in that third quarter.
This is a borderline must-score drive already here for Grafton, trailing by 14. About 19 minutes left to play in this game. That's not going to help them. Jack Nelson wrapped up as soon as he got that football.
Yeah, he was held to 45 yards in that first half on 11 carries, so not a great average. And as a whole, 191 total yards of offense for Grafton, but a couple of key turnovers and a missed field goal. And they have yet to score here in 2026. They do give him a yard.
About 4 yards per carry so far this game for Nelson, who is averaging 7.3 yards per carry last season. He'll get another chance here to the right side. Nelson is going to bring a couple of defenders with him to the turf, out to the 32.
Yeah, a lot of time left here, so they're going to continue with their running game, and there's no reason to go away from that. And another cramp looks like far side potentially, or an injury to DeRozier. So DeRozier now down.
Once again, you hope it's just a cramp, and two of the biggest pieces for both the offense and the defense of this Vikings team, in DeRozier and Eli Meyer, going down with what we hope is still a cramp. And we'll get to a break with 6 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's been all Vikings so far, 14-0 Vikings.
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at wisconsinsurplus.com.
Go long. It's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weed Man to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weed Man. Call or click today.
Henry DeRozier having to be helped to the sideline. We hope everything is all right. A terrific performance early on in the season opener for Mount Horeb Barneveld. So the senior will head off the field.
Yeah, two-way player, one of a few here for the Vikings, and has shown what he can do on both sides of the ball.
3rd and 4, handoff to Nelson, and Nelson.
Boy, he's going to be close here.
He did not get the yardage there, though. Out to the 34, that's a yard shy.
I imagine they go for it here. I'm surprised they didn't go no huddle, hurry up, but I would expect them to go for it here.
I agree, Brad. Down by 14, under 6 minutes to play in the third quarter, in a game where both teams have been taking up a lot of clock on each and every drive.
They bring the fullback in here, lead blocker.
4th and 1, Nelson. He didn't get there. The Vikings stand.
Oh, they might give it to him across the 35-yard line. I guess we'll see here.
The Vikings defensive line stood him up, but forward progress looks like it'll get Jack Nelson the yardage he needed.
Boy, got across the 35, and that was it. And they moved the sticks, boy.
Brad, I didn't think he got there as we were watching that live.
Didn't look like it from our vantage point, but we're not in charge. So just 50 yards on 14 carries for Nelson. They featured him in this first drive.
Pass to the near side is complete. Cullen Olson, terrific defense to swing down. Hayden Klippel Klippel running back to the center of the field to make the grab just a few yards on the play.
Yeah, a long throw, and Cullen Olson doing a great job of eyeing the receiver and really limiting much at all.
Ultimately, you've seen a couple of effective out routes that Hunter Klippel has thrown, but he hasn't really gone deep down the field or over the middle with any effectiveness. Nelson tumbling up the middle once again. That's good for about 6. Maybe not. Maybe give him 4 on that one. They're going to say 3rd and 2 from the 43 for Grafton.
Yeah, time winding down here in this third quarter. MHB a 14-play scoring drive, and they go up 2 scores. Vikings working without Eli Meyer and without Henry DeRozier at the moment.
Nelson on 3rd and 2, stutters, and then he stood up. The Vikings defense comes up clutch once again. Time after time, they have made the play on 3rd down.
Yeah, just a 1-yard gain, and another Grafton player himself looks like dealing with cramping, and Cullen Olson jumped in to give him the assist.
Sam Benter down on the field.
So a 4th down upcoming, and you've got a full yard, maybe a yard and a half to get that first down. And you wonder if this might be the moment, Evan, you do kick the ball away to try to play some field position. A lot of time left in this one. And the way that MHB has controlled the ball, I'm not sure you want to give them a short field if unable to convert.
It's a double-edged sword. You wouldn't want to give them a short field, but if you send the ball away to the Vikings and they can take another 5 minutes off the clock, well, that's disaster again for Grafton. I'm of the opinion where if they give the football back to Mount Horeb Barneveld, I don't think they win the game. So I think they've got to go for it on 4th down. They would need a 3 and out or maybe even a couple, but
a lot of ball game here, Evan. 3rd quarter yet, so let's not get too excited with the extremes here quite yet.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Bank CMG. Grow your business, finance your big dream, and build savings for the future with Bank CMG. And by Norse Golf Club. Book a tee time online at norsegolfclub.com. You're definitely right, Brad. We have a lot of time to work with, and the field position battle, right? If their defense stands strong, it would be a solid move. It's just a risk in the way that the Vikings offense has been able to wind the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a critical play here. We'll see how Grafton approaches this one. I think MHB is expecting them to go for it here in this situation. And looks like Grafton is bringing out their offense, at least momentarily after this injury timeout.
It's getting loud here at Mount Horeb High School. Student section on their feet. They'll stack the line. Nelson in the backfield gets the ball. Nelson breaks through the line, putting his helmet down, charging forward. The biggest rush of the game for Jack Nelson as Grafton converts on 4th down.
Yeah, a big 4-yard rush for Grafton, obviously just needing 1 yard there. And one of the few times where he was not hit at the line of scrimmage. Looking on the sideline here, looks like DeRozier is testing out his leg there that seemed to be ailing him coming off. So a good sign, at least he's trying to get things moving again.
Klippel fakes the handoff, finds his receiver in the flats, close to the Mount Horeb Barneveld 35-yard line, out at the 36.
John Besh out there, number 21, his first reception.
A nice play design there for Grafton, getting him out in space, and an easy gain for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, about 12-yard gain there.
Now the Blackhawks slowing their offense down a little bit after that high-pressure situation. Already a couple of 4th down conversions on this drive. Both DeRozier and Meyer on their feet, walking around on the sideline. Positive signs. Klippel, the handoff. Nelson moving the pile. Nelson breaks through that initial swarm. How did he get 9 yards on that play?
Yeah, he's pretty special. That's the reason for that. And they've really stuck with this running game, even down 2 scores. We've debated this, but a lot of time left in this game, so no reason to move away from really who you are.
And ultimately, this Grafton team, their biggest weapon is Jack Nelson. They want to keep the ball on the ground and run it effectively. They've got enough time left right now to do so. Nelson once again up the middle. Only needed a yard there, and he got it. Grafton moving the chains once again as the clock stops momentarily with 2:11 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, gets a couple more big yards, but a first down for sure. 71 yards now. Starting to get lathered up a little bit in this second half. 2 minutes rolling in this third quarter. MHB held the ball for 14 plays to start this one. Have taken a 14-0 lead, so they've done their part.
They certainly have. The offense has been excellent. The defense has made the big plays when they've needed to. Although this drive, they've given up a couple of fourth down conversions, but ultimately both sides of the football have been fantastic for the Vikings. Klippel going deep and just too far beyond the outstretched arms of Hayden Klippel. And now we've got another injured Viking down on the sideline.
Yeah, Cullen Olson went down after defending that play, and now he says he's good. So they've got the reserves over there working guys out. Jenny Leibfried, who's a masseuse, she's working on Eli Myers' cramp. We've got the trainers working on DeRozier. Student trainer working also on Connor Casey. So cramping an issue here, and you see a few of the Grafton players also cramping.
Nelson hits the hole up the middle and keeps going. Jack Nelson is picking up some momentum here late in the third quarter. Finally finding a little bit of room to work with, and he's making Mount Horeb Barneveld pay.
Yeah, you see he's getting to that second level, and he's so hard to bring down one-on-one. They've been so effective of bottling him up, bringing 3 or 4 guys, and up to 82 yards on 20 rushes. So definitely looking more like himself in this third quarter.
Grafton in the red zone, 1st and 10 from the MHB 14. 2 receivers left. Nelson in the backfield. Handoff to Nelson again. Nelson looking for room. Had it on the offensive line. And then that front 7 coming to help out for Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Yeah, and sophomore Barrett Slaney getting some reps on the defense there. He did a nice job from that end position of limiting the damage there by Nelson, who just gets maybe a yard on that one.
Grafton down to the 12, and now you can see they're taking their time. They are not worried about the clock, huddling up, getting a play from the sideline. Perhaps just one play left here in the third quarter. It's Klippel with time. Klippel looking near side. It's caught by Hayden Klippel inside the 10 at the 8. Did he get the first, though?
No,
Clock
he's
continues
to
run. He'll be short. And that will do it for quarter number 3. The Grafton Blackhawks are threatening as we go to the fourth, but it's Mount Horeb Barneveld on top 14-0 here on Wisco Radio.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by A+ Plumbing Services. A+ Plumbing Services has you covered for all your plumbing needs. Proudly serving Mount Horeb and the surrounding communities for over 25 years, A+ Plumbing delivers dependable, professional service when you need it most. For quality plumbing and service you can count on, call A+ Plumbing Services.
The The Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is an organization focused on assisting in the development of youth football players and raising funds for the Mount Horeb Barneveld Football program. The mission of the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club is to work cooperatively with the Mount Horeb and Barneveld school districts to support the efforts of the Mount Horeb Barneveld High School football program and the Mount Horeb Barneveld Youth Football program. To learn more about the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club or to find out ways to support the program, head to mhb-football.com. That's mhb-football.com.
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at wisconsinsurplus.com.
Welcome back to Mount Horeb High School. Vikings 14, Blackhawks 0, but that could change here soon. 3rd and 4 for the Blackhawks from the Mount Horeb Barneveld 8-yard line. An interesting formation, and the flag flies.
Yeah, they get called for motion. And important to note here, Eli Meyer and Henry DeRozier have both checked back in on defense.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction. Your next win is just a bit away. Head to wisconsinsurplus.com.
Well, another big penalty for Grafton, a 3rd down and 9, obviously 4-down territory here for Grafton, but 2 main players back on defense for MHB.
3rd and 9, Meyer and DeRozier back. Trouble with the snap. Klippel dropped the ball. Mount Horeb Barneveld picks it up. They could take it all the way to the 40, the 30. There he goes, but the whistle blown. Oh, they're going to say he was down by contact. No, the ball was out. Now a flag flies. That ball was out before Klippel's knee touched the ground. Disbelief at Mount Horeb High School. Take a look at the replay here. You can't see it, but man, Klippel's knee was not down yet.
I have no idea what the call is on the field. We heard the whistles.
Well, the only reason for a whistle is that he's down by contact, I would think.
There could be he stopped. Momentum is really the only thing that makes sense. Maybe an incomplete pass would stop the play. It was a bad exchange, miscommunication in the backfield, and a flag came in. I'm guessing sideline warning is probably going to be the ultimate result of the flag. The officials continue to confer.
Brett St. Arnold is furious. I don't know if you just saw him on the sideline.
It's a big moment here in a game that you're against the defending state champs and you want every opportunity. Your defense has earned it. They're going to say he was down.
And then an unsportsmanlike conduct against Mount Horeb Barneveld. So that's an automatic first down for Grafton. Man. That's an unbelievable swing of an events. This game could have been over. I mean, it could have been 21-0 Mount Horeb Barneveld. Instead, Grafton gets it 1st and goal, down by 14, a chance to make it a 1-score game.
Not automatic. And looks like it does remain 4th down. I thought unsportsmanlike actually was automatic, but it's just half the distance to the goal. My lead official here in front of us is indicating 4th down, Jim Meyer. A great basketball official. I think he knows the football rule book too. And 4th down it is.
All right, still a chance here for the Vikings. Whistles blow once again. Timeout Vikings as Brett St. Arnold has come back out onto the field.
Boy, what a change of events, and they're saying that, from what we're gathering, is they're saying he was down. And we didn't have a great replay, but our eyes live looked much different. I thought maybe forward progress stopped, if anything, but the official says that he was down. Even, this camera angle, I don't think we quite see what happens at the end of this play. Maybe a little bit here, and the ball's already out there, so hard to really tell. But MHB playing the play out.
Brad, I'm with you. I think the only way that call makes sense is if forward progress is stopped. And usually when you're in progress of making a tackle, you kind of let the tackle finish out, right? It didn't seem like Klippel got stood up. Regardless, 4th and 7, still a huge moment in the game upcoming for both sides. The Vikings with a chance to make a huge stand defensively. Newfound life, however, for the Blackhawks and Hunter Klippel. It gets loud once again. Yep. Empty backfield. Jack Nelson goes out to the far side. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Klippel is going to move right. Klippel will tuck it down and run for it. Klippel tackled at the 3, and a flag comes in late. This is going to be against Grafton. Could be head contact or a blindside block.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Those flags did come in late.
2 officials threw them. Barrett Slaney got hit hard on the play, and immediately 2 officials threw the flag. Brad, what do you think? Is that a blindside block?
I'm done giving. I'm done trying to figure this one out. So I don't know, Evan.
Yeah, well,
the way this has gone, I really can't speculate at this point. We'll see what happens here. The result of the play was, I think, barely a first down.
Is Slaney down?
Well, there's a player, I think they're working on cramps again for MHB. These officials are not great about making calls, so that's one thing I can observe.
A personal foul of some sort against Grafton.
Yeah, illegal blindside block is what it was. So you did call that one. I was just skeptical they were actually going to get that one right. And it goes MHB's way. So averting another big play there. And cramping remains to be an issue here for really both sides of the ball. So that should be marching back here. It was a 4th down and 7. Klippel did have it, but and maybe a block, Evan, that was perhaps unnecessary if you're looking at it from Grafton's standpoint, kind of happening behind the play. And moving back to the 20-yard line.
We're going to get to a break here with 11:40 to go.
They're helping them up now, so
we're going to stay here. Yeah. I would agree, though, Brad. Unnecessary from a football standpoint. A personal foul is going to set them back 15 yards unless it's from the spot of the foul.
So they move them back to the 20.
So it would have to be from the spot, 15 yards from the spot at the 5.
And they're going to try a field goal here, try to get some points.
It'll be a 37-yarder here for Burns, who missed earlier in this game. 11:40 to go in the 4th quarter. An interesting move here from Grafton. It'll still be a 2-possession game. The kick is on the way, and Burns knocks it through with about 20 yards extra on it. Mount Horeb Barneveld now leads 14-3 with 11:36 to go in the 4th quarter. It is still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, Grafton playing the long game here and just trying to get some points, and you've got some time here, so it's not as if they're in dire situation, but they're just trying to get some points, and obviously their defense needs to come through as well.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Weedman. Get ready to achieve a lawn care win with Weedman. And Kittleson Landscape, celebrating 40 years in the community. Transform your outdoor space with Kittleson Landscape.
Yeah, the cramping is a little bit of a curious thing here. That just tells you they're not hydrating during the week. It's not a game day sort of issue, and not something that we've really seen from this program over the years, and hasn't been overly hot or humid. But for whatever reason, and Grafton dealing with it too, and two programs, they know what they're doing, absolutely. Two very, very well-established teams as well.
Burns will boot it away. Jeglum deep for Mount Horeb Barneveld, along with Kelson Baumgart. The kick will go to Jeglum, and Jeglum gets it on the run. Jeglum had no blockers out in front of him as he's crunched down at the 20.
Really nice kickoff, though. You kind of put the return guys in a curious position as Jeglum picks it up inside the 10-yard line. Able to get to the 20, so some breathing room here for MHB. And let's see if this MHB offense can eat up more clock like they did that first drive of the third quarter. A 14-play drive for MHB. Grafton caps off the 17-play drive, but just come away with 3 points.
Eli Meyer and Henry DeRozier rejoined the offense for Mount Horeb Barneveld. Two key pieces for the Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff to Meyer. Meyer cuts back up the middle. What a cut. He's going to keep going. Eli Meyer can't be brought down all the way to the 40. A 20-yard run by Eli Meyer to begin this drive.
Yeah, you don't expect that after somebody who spent the whole third quarter on the training table. But tough kid. And you just see the balance, the ability to get through tackles. He's not the biggest guy when you see him live, but he is pretty much all muscle, though, and that wrestling background is something special as well.
It certainly is. Even on that replay, you can see how it correlates, and he just has 2 feet under him at all times. It's Meyer again, a cut to the outside. Meyer looking back inside. How many yards after contact is that?
Enough.
Eli Meyer won't go down.
He surpasses 100 yards here tonight. 13 carries, 104 yards for Meyer. Boy, what a welcome sight to see him back. And you think about the injuries they were withstanding. 2 of their captains wearing a C on their jersey. And MHB, this is what they did so well last year, is they were able to close out games when they had a lead like this. And an offensive line is doing a great job here tonight.
It's certainly chew clock time now for the Vikings, up by 11. Meyer again. Meyer to the outside. He's got room to rumble. Eli Meyer finally dragged down at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nothing fancy. They're just going off guard, and Meyer is doing the heavy lifting. So about 17 more on that carry for Meyer. Just good vision. And we talked about this with Hayden Jeglum, who's really seeing his first varsity experience, but it's that one cut and go mentality that you really see specialized with Eli Meyer.
The Vikings are at the Grafton 27-yard line. Meyer, a full head of steam this time. He's got room to run. Eli Meyer gets to the 10.
And there's a flag far side as MHB had pancaked a defender. 3 offensive linemen just demolished a Grafton defender. We'll see what the call is here.
John Besh took the brunt of the blow for Grafton.
Eli Meyer potentially big play there. You could kind of see, though, I think it's going to be a hold on MHB, but you can see maybe the lingering effects of that cramp for Eli Meyer, not having that breakaway speed. Boy, they're calling a hold on that. I'm sure the line coaches are questioning that one.
1st and 20 now for Mount Horeb Barneveld, or 1st and 15 as it occurred downfield.
Yeah, one positive for this, if you're the Vikings, is the clock continues to run even after that penalty, so they do replay that first down.
2 receivers left, a receiver right. This is Jeglum in the backfield taking the pitch. Jeglum spins and goes down at the 30. Ultimately, Brad, it looks like this Grafton defense is starting to get tired, particularly that defensive line, and Mount Horeb Barneveld is not letting up.
Yeah, both teams really trying to lean on their offensive lines and tire out the defense, and we'll see who's able to actually get the job done here, but Meyer does get that one-play break.
And now he's back.
Second down play here. Try to get some of those penalty yards back.
Hand off to Meyer. No surprise there. Meyer into a swarm, and this time he's driven backward. Wrapped up by Spencer Schumacher. Time continues to wind. 8 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in this ball game.
Yeah, just getting past the original line of scrimmage, so we'll see here. Decision time here if the Vikings unable to get this first down, what their decision will be.
3rd and 9 from the 26. We've already seen the Vikings attempt a 46-yard field goal with Cullen Olson, but this is a very different situation right now. Meyer to the left side, brought down by 3 white jerseys, and that'll bring up 4th and long for Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Probably not a surprise they keep things on the ground, and wonder if that's setting up their 4th down play that they were planning on going with.
You wonder if they got enough to set up that play, though. Gets it to 4th and 6. They were probably hoping it was going to be more like 4th and 3 or 4.
Still remains to be a 2-score game, though, so it's probably factoring into the Vikings' decision here.
Vikings going for it on 4th and 6. Helen looks to the sideline. And now Mount Horeb Barneveld will call timeout with 7 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by PWA Insurance, offering you the best rates and the best coverage on home, auto, commercial, and farm insurance. And by A-Plus Plumbing Services, South Central Wisconsin's trusted plumber for over 20 years. 7:25 remaining in this game. Mount Horeb Barneveld leads Grafton 14-3. The offense initially looked like they were going to go for it before Brett St. Arnold's called timeout. We'll see if that's still the case coming out of this break.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe they are thinking field goal, but yes, they're going to set up the field goal, which you kind of expect after that timeout. Try to get some free yards if you can, but ball on the left hash here for Cullen Olson. And line of scrimmage up around the 24-yard line. So you're looking about a 41-yarder.
Olson, no good from 46 earlier in this game. He'll take a crack from 40. Eli Meyer is the holder. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it is way right. Never had a chance, and this remains an 11-point game with under 8 minutes remaining. Grafton gets the football back, and there's still hope for Blackhawks fans.
Yeah, some time left here, and obviously they need some scores and need to do so in a little bit rather quick fashion. But, again, no matter the results of that, I think that's the right call. You try to get some experience in a game, and I'm no kicking expert by any means, but looked like maybe trying a little too hard and not very fluid on that one.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Mount Horeb Barneveld Gridiron Club, an organization focused on assisting the development of youth football players in Mount Horeb. And by the American Legion Post 113 in Mount Horeb, supporting veterans, their families, and the entire Mount Horeb community. Grafton begins their drive on their own 20-yard line. Hunter Klippel needs to start something special. Nelson taking it to the outside on the sweep, gets the edge for 14 yards.
Yeah, nice play call, trying to get him in space as the Vikings have really bottled things up. So a good first down run and gets out of bounds as well. So job well done there. Nelson approaching about 100 yards here, 97 unofficially. Pretty good second half for Nelson.
Every play now so important for Grafton. Nelson once again up the middle. Nelson is going to burst forward for another 12. The clocks will momentarily stop for the first down yardage, but they will resume shortly. It looks like Grafton is going to go no huddle.
Yeah, a little bit of a hurry pace here. We're just trying to keep everything in front. That might result in some chunk yardage at times.
Under 7 minutes to go. Nelson pushes the pile. Not much, but still able to make something happen despite the fact that the Vikings defensive line really won that battle on the snap.
Yeah, Nelson a little slow getting up as well. And if you're the defense for Mount Horeb Barneveld, you're okay with that. Obviously, you'd like maybe not a 4-yard gain, but a 2 or 3, but nothing wrong with just keeping it contained. Just making the plays when you need to.
That play cost Grafton at least 30 seconds, which is why, as a Vikings fan, you're all right with that. Klippel near sideline and just off the fingertips, but flags fly in. Klippel was looking for Vince Schiller. Contact before the ball got there. This could be pass interference on the Vikings.
Yeah, Schlimgen getting there maybe a little bit early and had a hand in the cookie jar. So going to be a penalty going against MHB. Original line of scrimmage was the 49.
That also stops the clock, which is just as important as the yardage. 5:58 to go in this game. The ball is marched down to the 30. They'll put it on the 35-yard line.
Should be the 34, but.
First and 10, 5:58 remaining. Klippel, far sideline, caught a big hit, but his receiver held on.
And that's going to be a first down.
It's Shaw with a huge reception. Had a number of grabs in the first half. He's been a little bit quieter here in the second. But Parker Shaw comes up big for the Blackhawks.
Leading receiver for the Blackhawks, 68 yards on 7 receptions.
Ball down to the 25-yard line. Klippel again, fakes the pass. Now he's going for it all, and it's just in front of Parker Shaw once again.
Yeah, this has been a great game here tonight. Obviously, Grafton coming off a state championship. MHB falling to Catholic Memorial in Level 3 last year. Both these teams losing some key pieces, but Grafton not playing the cleanest game here tonight, and maybe some of that inexperience is partly due to that.
Nelson up the middle. He's got about 5. You saw that play with Parker Shaw running down the sideline. He had a step on Nolan Beadle, and if that throws on target from Klippel, Grafton could have scored on that play. Instead, it's now 3rd and 6. Nice pocket for Klippel. Klippel now moving left. He'll tuck it down, and he gets smashed at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and they will continue to wind the clock.
Yeah, I think that was Eli Meyer, or maybe it was Caden Schlimgen who came in there to see who it was, and that was Eli Meyer. That 5 and 9 looked very similar, but a huge 4th down upcoming for both sides.
A timeout will be called by Grafton. They could potentially kick a field goal to make it an 8-point and a 1-possession game. Burns 1 for 2 so far in this game. It'll be 4th and 6. An interesting decision to be made here by Grafton.
Yeah, you know you've got a kicker with the leg. The wind has picked up a little bit here as flags are maybe 2 Grafton's back, but yeah, an interesting decision. Do you try to make it a 1-score game, or obviously going for the touchdown, you'd have to get the ball back again.
If you kick the field goal, you also save some time on the clock potentially.
Yep.
This is a very in-between decision. 4th and 6, and frankly, I don't think there's a wrong answer here for Grafton.
And looks like they're going to go for it here, at least initially.
They send the offense back out to the field. 4:59 to go. 4th down. Game on the line for Grafton. The Vikings looking to take down the state champs in week 1. Klippel under pressure, throws, tipped, and caught. A miraculous play for Grafton to keep their hopes alive. Out at the 10-yard line.
Officials are conferring, and they're going to say a catch.
It was tipped and then hauled in. Hudson Miller making the catch. I'm not even sure he was the intended target. 4:44 to go. Handoff to Nelson. Nelson met in the backfield trying to push forward, but reinforcements come for the Vikings, and then they're going to call a personal foul, late hit against Mount Horeb Barneveld.
Dylan Randall is finishing the tackle, and they're going to go half the distance here after the MHB defense stood him up. Maybe a little bit extra after the whistle, but not much at all.
It's tough in this stage of the game when you see he's finishing a tackle. We'll see it here.
Yeah, momentum was stopped, and I get it. Probably a second too late there, and Grafton now at the 5-yard line.
1st and goal for the Blackhawks, as they have been given a couple of gifts on this drive. Klippel moves left, heaves to the end zone, too far out in front of Hank Doyle, the big sophomore tight end who's got about 6 Division I offers, including from Wisconsin and Iowa, although he has not been much of a presence in this game.
This 2-score lead is what's really important for MHB. Obviously, you try to keep them out of the end zone here. But Grafton playing uphill right now.
2nd and goal from the 4. Nelson moving forward, doesn't get to the goal line. He got to the 2. It'll be 3rd and goal, and the clock continues to drain.
122 yards on 26 carries for Nelson. A really good second half. Approaching 4 minutes.
They stack the line. Klippel gives to Nelson. Nelson, does he have the yardage? This time he does on the final push from the Blackhawks offense. Grafton scores their first touchdown of the game. They cut the deficit to 5 with 3:54 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think the MHB coaches thought maybe forward progress was stopped. We saw that called earlier, but they're going to say that's a touchdown, so an important extra point upcoming. Grafton continues to chase points. Grafton 2 timeouts left.
Burns on the PAT. It is good, and it is 14-10. Mount Horeb Barneveld. A late push here from Grafton, trying to steal one on the road in week 1. The Vikings have controlled the vast majority of this game. The offense looks to lock things down with 3:54 to go. We'll get to a break. Mount Horeb Barneveld on top by 4. You're watching Wisco Radio.
Go long.
That's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weedman to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weedman. Call or click today.
Located in the heart of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, Norsk Golf Club boasts a tough but fair 9 holes that will be challenging and fun for golfers of all ages. Norsk Golf Club is dedicated to serving our community by creating a family-friendly destination for golf, outdoor recreation, and entertainment in every season while preserving the irreplaceable green space in the center of Mount Horeb. Don't forget about our bar and grill, bowling lanes, and to stop by and watch the Wisco Radio broadcasts. To book a tee time, visit us online at norskgolfclub.com or call 608-437-3399. That's 608-437-3399.
3:54 to play. Mount Horeb Barneveld set to get the football back. It's an onside kick. It's dribbling. It's loose. Who's got it? Grafton signaling they have it. Their sidelines going crazy. No official signal yet. Mount Horeb Barneveld
somehow
has the football.
Boy, a tough one here. I don't know if we'll get a second look at it, but I think one of the Vikings up men maybe fell a little bit early, and it was definitely a loose ball. Yeah, here we go, a good look at it, and that was Cullen Olson who put his paws on it first, and somewhere, somehow, yep, you can see the Vikings, and it might have been Henry Loger in there who was able to bring that in, and an important play for MHB. 2 timeouts left here for Grafton and a couple of first downs for MHB. They'll try to seal this game up here, but boy, a lot of drama here, less 3:54.
You could hear a pin drop for about 5 seconds here. Handoff, Meyer, nothing doing. A big stop by Grafton. It'll be 2nd and 10. Grafton, 2 timeouts left. And they are not going to use one right now.
Probably after this second down play, you'll see them using a timeout.
Mount Horeb Barneveld has 1 timeout remaining in this game, which you could see them potentially try and get Grafton to jump off sides on a 4th down. We'll see.
Do you try to get Helen on the outside would be the other one. They're keying in on Eli Meyer. How do you get this clock to run down?
They're just going to give it to Meyer. This time, Meyer has some room to work with. Meyer, did he get to the chains? They're marking him at the 45, and they'll signal to move the chains. A huge first down pickup for Eli Meyer after he got stuffed on first down. Gets the yardage he needs on second down. And now the clock is a big problem for Grafton.
Yeah, nice job of stretching that out that time, and shame on me for thinking they're going to do something different. But Eli Meyer making a big-time play, 11 yards on that run, and now the clock is becoming a serious issue for Grafton. A big first down, one more might seal this one for the Vikings. And the back judge is counting, so MHB, yep, they're going to have to burn a timeout. They weren't quite set.
And
not the worst thing in the world.
Maybe that's one where it's still week one. They're trying to run a play. You're under 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Like you said, not a big deal. You've got a timeout left in your back pocket to burn. The Vikings are now out of timeouts with 2:26 remaining.
Yeah, you hate to lose 5 yards. I think just any yardage at this point is what you're trying to get. Grafton with 2 timeouts, so the stoppage here does help out Grafton a little bit.
And we can do some math here. 2 timeouts left for Grafton. So at least 40 seconds are going to transpire after one of the next 3 plays for the Vikings if they hold on to the football. That would take us down to 146 plus the time that it'll transpire during the plays. And you'd think that Grafton really won't get the football back until that 115, 110 mark if they make stops on the next 3 plays. Harvey Helen to Meyer. Meyer cuts outside and churns forward for a couple of yards. And a timeout will immediately be called by Grafton with 2:20 to go. 6 seconds tick off on that play.
Yeah, so just one more timeout here for Grafton. So it's a tough situation at times, too, because you have to burn your timeouts to get the ball back potentially, but then you're left with obviously no ways to stop the clock if you get the ball back on offense. So 140 yards tonight here for Eli Meyer on 19 carries. He's been very efficient. And Henry Helen, his debut here tonight, 122 yards through the air. He has a passing touchdown, and he has a rushing touchdown as well. He has 2 rushes for 0 yards and a touchdown. How about that?
I mean, for Harvey Helen, it's been everything you could expect and more, right? The command he's had of this offense, he hasn't made any of the critical errors. He's led the team down the field when he's needed to. He's burned some time off the clock very nicely. What a debut for Harvey Helen, trying to finish it off with a win over the defending state champs. Meyer immediately turns right. Meyer, second effort, only gets back to the line of scrimmage or so. 8 seconds off the clock on that play. Timeout with 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in this game.
So that's the last timeout for Grafton. I believe they'll be out. Yes, they are out of timeouts. So this third down play is going to take some time. If they can get a first down, this game is probably going to be close to being over. A 4th down turnover on downs. Different story.
Yeah, if they get a first here, they can get into victory formation. If they get held up here on 3rd and 8, it'll be interesting to see what the Vikings do. If it's 4th and 8, they probably punt. If they get closer, do you think about going for it? It will be an interesting decision. Brett St. Arnold's hoping he doesn't have to make one. Hoping this offense can pick up the 8 yards they need on 3rd down. One receiver to each side of the line. Eli Meyer behind Helen. Helen fakes the handoff, goes near side to DeRozier. DeRozier is tackled at the 46. The chain is between the 45 and the 46. I think he's just short.
Just short, perhaps.
I think this is the type of situation where you've got to go for it. It's 4th and perhaps half a yard here.
Yeah, I like the play call. Try and get the ball in DeRozier's hands. Here is your ball game.
If the Vikings can convert, they win this game. Helen, here we go. Meyer up the middle. He's got first down yardage. The Vikings are going to take down Grafton in week 1 at home. What a performance by the Mount Horeb Barneveld Vikings. First down with 1:25 to play. The Vikings will be 1-0 this season.
The confidence from the entire offense. Helen composed under pressure, offensive line marking their assignments, and Eli Meyer having himself a night. He needed one, got about three, 143 yards on the night for Eli Meyer, knowing he's going to be an important piece of this puzzle here, and he has proven to be just that here tonight. He's been everything the Vikings needed.
And he went through that cramp too early in this game. He was able to battle back. You saw him in some pain on the sideline. I mean, they had to stretch him out for quite some time. Gets back in the game. You talk about the rushing yards, an interception or recovered fumble. We don't know how that was officially ruled. A forced fumble. What a game by Eli Meyer.
Yeah, overall, great game. A guy who's going both ways. So obviously that exerts a lot of energy, but just amazing what this team does year in, year out. They keep finding guys and building the culture that puts them in positions to win ball games like this. And what a showing here in week 1. Minute 18 and rolling of taking down the Division 3 state champs from a year ago.
Grafton came into this game second in the preseason rankings for D2. And frankly, Mount Horeb Barneveld has been the better team tonight. Offensively, defensively, they have made the plays when it has mattered the most. They have limited the mistakes, and they are rewarded with a huge Week 1 victory.
Yeah, a couple of things went Grafton's way, especially on that last touchdown drive. Maybe some questionable calls, but at the end of the day, it's going to be MHB being 4 points better, and really, like you said, Evan, controlling this game for the better part.
Last snap of the game. And there it is. Mount Horeb Barneveld 1-0. Grafton 0-1. A crazy way to start the season here for the Vikings. And you think about what it does for team morale, what it does for the fan base. Mount Horeb Barneveld, how can you start the 2026 campaign any better?
Well, you really can't. And a team effort, and even in that first half, Evan, those times when the defense never gave up on a play, there was that strip fumble that Grafton was driving. So, Eli Meyer gets a lot of the credit here for this great offense performance, but think about this defense giving up only 10 points. It was a late touchdown drive, but really holding Nelson in check here tonight. He got going a little bit better in the second half, 124 yards total, but 45 in that first half, and this MHB defense continues to rise to the occasion.
And you go back to that drive in which Grafton scored their touchdown, and there were a couple of chances where you thought Mount Horeb Barneveld had already made the stop. This defense was spectacular tonight. It could not have been any better. Offensively, they did exactly what they needed to do. They convert on the first drive of the game. Eli Meyer, a huge 36-yard run to set up the touchdown. And ultimately, start to finish, the Vikings were in control.
Yeah, really good week 1 here, and taking down the state champs is never a bad way to do it. So great to have you here, Evan, tonight. You saw a fun one in your first broadcast, and Ramsey Schulting here as well, helping us out with the drive chart. Really appreciate that as well.
It was an absolute thriller in week 1. Final score, Mount Horeb Barneveld 14, Grafton 10. For Blaine Bestool producing, Jack Goodwin on replay, Ethan Gage and Aiden Scudder on cameras, Ramsey Schulting on stats. For Brad Richardson, I'm Evan Epstein saying so long from Mount Horeb High School, and thank you for tuning in to Wisco Radio.
PWA Insurance Group is an independent insurance agency in Mount Horeb, representing over 15 insurance companies so we can find the one that's perfect for you. From business, personal, life, or farm insurance, we have built our reputation on the belief that it is possible to provide you with the best insurance coverage at the lowest possible price, while always striving to provide you with the highest level of customer service. For more information, call 608-437-3325 or visit pwa-insurance.com.
People always ask me, Jessica, how do you change a tire? Well, my name's not Jessica, and I have no idea. But what I can tell you is where to find the best deals on vehicles, equipment, and more. WisconsinSurplus.com. Bid, buy, and sell today.
Hey sports fans, be sure to cheer on your local sports team just like Kittleson Landscape has for over 25 years. Like many of you, Craig and his team have students and athletes in the Mount Horeb schools, and they are dedicated to their success and the overall success of the athletic programs. Need a place to go and unwind after the big game? Kittleson Landscape specializes in outdoor fire pits, patios, and much more. To get your free estimate today, call 608-437-8845. Hope you enjoy the game, brought to you by Kittleson Landscape. Go Vikings!
Bid, buy, and sell at Wisconsin Surplus. From vehicles and equipment to real estate and more. Touchdowns aren't the only thing worth celebrating this season. Our auctions run 24/7. Buy or sell today at wisconsinsurplus.com.
Go long. It's a championship lawn. Be ashamed if some weeds took the title.
Nice hit, Johnson.
Are you sick and tired of your lawn getting sacked by weeds? Then sign up with Weed Man to help you achieve a lush, green lawn that stands up to weeds. Did I mention that it was kid and pet friendly? Tackle weeds on your home turf with Weed Man. Call or click today.
Located in the heart of beautiful Mount Horeb, Wisconsin, Norsk Golf Club boasts a tough but fair 9 holes that will be challenging and fun for golfers of all ages. Norsk Golf Club is dedicated to serving our community by creating a family-friendly destination for golf, outdoor recreation, and entertainment in every season while preserving the irreplaceable green space in the center of Mount Horeb. Don't forget about our bar and grill, bowling lanes, and to stop by and watch the Wisco Radio broadcasts. To book a tee time, visit us online at norskgolfclub.com or call 608-437-3399. That's 608-437-3399.
At Bank CMG, we believe strong communities start with strong relationships. After all, success is a team sport, and so is community